Welcome to the ICL on a Tuesday. We're here tonight with world-class cards versus Nvrshift. Tonight's first round will be cast by two people that you get to guess. Here's one of them now.
Hello. Welcome to the ICL on a Tuesday. Is that good?
It was great. I feel
Thank you.
I'm watching NPR right now.
Oh, good. That's what I was going for. I figured just enough long pauses for
Perfect.
everybody to fall asleep in between, and we were good to go.
You fall asleep during NPR?
You don't?
No.
Oh, is
I
that
don't
not?
listen to them, so I can't fall asleep to it.
Oh. I thought that's what people listen to the NPR. I thought this was because it's like the sleepy time.
No, it has some good information on it, actually. I do listen to them sometimes when I'm not jamming out to some tunage.
I cannot stay awake. Ruby Steel for the win. All right. What's up, J-Bomb? Tavern in color. Well, that's a whole thing. What was a guess? I like how you're always 50% correct, TJ.
50%.
I do love that. Yeah. Welcome! 50%. Oh.
Oh, what was...
Ooh. All right, we are here, and Luke is doing admin things, and we also had somebody else pop into the green room, so you should be able to guess them before they even talk. That'll be fun. That'll be the elite thing as we try to figure that out. But tonight, we have world-class cards and Nvrshift. I mean, you guys call him Nvrshift, but I swear I'm pretty sure it's Nvrshift. Except for they do shift. I have in fact seen this team shift. And this is Infinity tonight. So you're probably going to see some shifting and some birds, probably. Rebecca, quick. I'm literally on the screen right now, Reginald. Don't start with me, okay? All right. They do be shifting, as we do have world-class cards, which I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of this team. At least maybe one or two people. There is a rumor, and it's one that I started, and it's only in my own head as a canon, is that if you win a DLC, an owl shows up to your home with your your world-class cards letter, and then you're inducted, and that's it. And
You're on
yeah.
cam now, Gabe.
So, and Gabe is here. Awesome.
You're
he
muted,
is here,
Gabe.
but he is muted. That's my favorite type of being here, because then I can say things about them and they can't fight back. Birds aren't real. I think there's really just going to be a lot of Ravens, which I do know is now it's an unkindness of Ravens, because casting Disney Lorcana has been a really wild ride for me. But one of the favorite things that I have done is figure out the names of the different animal groups. So then when you have like a unkindness of Diablos, and then you have like, a bunch of ducks on land are called a waddling. So that's another one for you.
These names are so appropriate. I love
Isn't
these
it
classifications.
silly?
It's so good.
Truly
It's so good.
insane. A gaggle
So
of
good.
geeses. Yep. There's another one too that I really love. And we're just gonna play cards, so that's good. We're just straight into it. We have Daniele versus Never Gonna Stop Mark, both in fantastic players. And this is kind of a really weird random thing. I actually got to play ATCG with Daniele at at the DLC in Richmond, and it was not Disney Lorcana, and I think they liked the game, but that was in between rounds, and we were playing cards, so it was really funny, and he beat me. It was his very first time playing this card game, and I never won ever.
Okay.
So fantastic player, no matter what card game it is. So
yeah, that's how that works. A lot of foundational skills, a lot of transferable skills. I would come to find out is the term that we use in the industry. Lots of transferable skills. And you had mentioned earlier whether people were confused if it's NVR or never. I feel like Mark's name is the dead giveaway here. We're not going to call him NVR gonna stop, right? That's crazy. It's got to be never gonna stop. Like, come on. I think that answers it right there. Boom.
It does. Yeah, never gonna stop Mark. It just kind of, you're never gonna stop him.
Never gonna
NVR
stop him.
just rise. Like, what could that stand for?
And they're called Nvrshift, and it's funny because shifting is, I guess, technically a bad thing. You're losing a character when you do that. So
It's
you would
not.
think it is. I mean, you're losing a character when you like you paid for that character, then you lose it. You're losing a card advantage. You shouldn't do it. But here's the funny thing about Disney Lorcana: we have to go against our better judgment all the time, and sometimes shifting can be fun and great and powerful. And so,
Just
even though we're not supposed to, we still do it sometimes.
absolutely just do it. As we see, we inked
Just
a
do it.
oh my
Oh,
yeah,
no.
we
We're
inked
gonna
a white
see
rose over there. So we are watching an amber and amethyst deck as we stare down this Daisy Donald's date. And then we watched a card go into the inkwell, a new card. It's a card that doesn't matter in the face of a hidden cove into a Daisy, and now a Piglet Pooh Pirate Captain. And there's a shifting card as I've never seen one before, the Diablo Devoted Herald going into hand, and never gonna shift mark might be shifting if we can get that smaller Diablo onto the table before this deck does what it's gonna do. Look at this. Ugh.
I was gonna say, if you needed any insight as to what Daniele's playing here, we've got Daisy. Oh goodness gracious! Yeah, we are going fast, folks. We're going so fast. It's
going
crazy.
so fast as we hit a look at this family straight into the inkwell, and I think that was 2 Donalds, which will go really well with that Daisy's date, and then potentially another Daisy because that would just be the worst timeline. But Daniela said, "I just want to finish this quickly," as we see that Donald going into he's a musketeer soldier with bodyguard, and he gives +1 when he comes into play. So my Piglet's questing for 4.
That's crazy. Imagine Daisy is over here waiting for her date with Donald. Donald shows up dressed like a musketeer. I'd be like, dude, what are we doing? What's going on right now? This is supposed to be a date. You're here wearing a hat. Like, come on, what's happening here?
And
crazy.
On those quests, we do reveal the top card of our deck, and if it is a character, we get to put it on our hand. And we did get the Pete, immediately ink it, and play an Ursula. Now, we are at 8 lore. We know that Donald went into the inkwell, so we have potential for kind of burst lore in this deck. I mean, like, Darling Deer and otherwise, but we do get an Ursula Deceiver of All down onto the board, which is going to allow us to sing double songs next turn. And if we have another Strength of Raging Fire, which we already saw a Strength of Raging Fire into the inkwell, we might be able to clear off potentially this Piglet or something of the like. But there she is. No. It is another Daisy into a Pocahontas, which is another new card that's going to be able to gain lore equal to an exerted character. This is insane.
This is an actual nightmare right now. This is just so fast. And that Pocahontas is threatening to quest. If that Piglet's able to survive this turn, that Pocahontas can quest for 4.
Yes.
This is okay. Daniele said we're playing, but I'm playing. I gotta go to bed soon, so we're just gonna play fast. We're just gonna go so fast. I don't got time for this. Okay, you go ahead and you play your cute little game with your Ravens and making me discard cards in my hand. You can't discard cards in my hand if they're all on the table. If I got 5 cards on the table and they all quest for 2 or 7 or whatever it is, and who cares, dude? Like, that's where we're at right now. This is nuts.
But we are going to exert 4 ink, never give up, never going to stop. We're going to play the Muses. Hold up. Now, this is where things get a little spicy. If we have a song, and we do, because we just slammed the Ursula down, we're going to, the most egregious song that Ursula could be singing, we are going to go ahead and do 2 damage with this song. Goes into the discard, and then we have the ability to pull it right back out of the discard, play it again, and do 2 more damage while also drawing the 2 cards. So Ursula, and that also means 2 Muses triggers. So we'll be able to bounce the Piglet back to your hand and bounce potentially that Daisy. I don't think that we want to bounce the Donald because he does get more when he comes in.
Yeah, that 1 2 totally hang out. And that one card in Mark's hand, totaling a complete board shift here, went from 5 characters on Daniele's side -4. That is a huge tempo swing here. One of the greatest things about Infinity is just how powerful these cards are. And as every set has come out, as we've gotten more of these cards just doing their thing, we see just the raw power. And I cannot wait for Indianapolis. I cannot wait for these DLCs in Infinity. I know there's a lot of people with mixed feelings. I love Infinity because of how crazy it gets. Speaking of crazy,
this family, yeah. As we go ahead, draw a card and gain a lore off of that. Is it 2 lore? My goodness, that's actually quite a lot for that card. Now we do see that the Muses is on the board, and that's going to make it very, very difficult. Right? Yes. So it's going to make it very, very difficult for Daniele to do anything. So he is going to have to be forced to just play these out over and over again. Now, if we run out of songs, if we stall out, then we are quite in a bit of trouble because we are at 15 lore. Never gonna stop. Mark over here is over at 1. So we basically need every song for the rest of the game to come off the top of our deck. Otherwise, I think we're in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, a bit of trouble is an understatement of the year, Color. That would be quite the understatement. It would mark the end of this game one. By the way, take a look at that time. It would be less than 6 minutes if we do that. Insanity. But one song can change the direction here. However, the fact that Mark is going to go ahead and challenge into these characters tells me we may. Oh wait, maybe not. Let's see. Are we? Yeah. Are we going to do it?
Oh, now we did ink a Keep the Ancient Ways, which is a song. So I'm assuming we have to have another song. And now we did move the muses to the Hidden Cove, which gives her +1 strength. And so she was able to take out that Donald in a nice little trade there. We are going to throw down a Diablo. And here we go. Ursula's going to go ahead and sing. Of course, it's another removal spell. So now we have 4 characters on the board. So we'll be able to do 4 damage 2 times. So we're going to take out that... Both daisies. Yes. That is very efficient. Yes. My goodness.
Yeah. Color. The answer is yes. We take out everything, all of it. Boom. Of them,
except for the Pocahontas, which will be able to gain 1 lore equal to an exerted character. You can't choose the muses, but you can choose the Ursula, so it still will be able to gain 2 lore.
Yeah. Which, I mean, listen, the alternative was lose the game. So, you know, I'll take that all day. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, this is nuts. Mark showing off really the power of this deck. I mean, just 1 card here. You set up the board. Oh, Honey Marin, that's good here. This is good.
So now that is definitely the power of this deck. Any kind of deck that's going to have aggro with Amethyst in it is going to have that instant lore gain available to them at all times, really. And so most of the things that you're ripping off the deck could potentially get you closer to the win. And especially now we have cards like Dashpar coming in that come off the top. Now 4 is a very expensive card, a high ink total for a deck like this. But at the same time, if it is a finisher, it will help you finish the game. And it's less of Honey Marin coming in and giving you 1 lore if your opponent has an exerted character, but a lot of those, a high concentration of those kind of cards will just eke you over the finish line, even if your opponent is doing muse shenanigans such as this. And just kidding, we still never didn't have it. Put them back in your hand.
That's crazy.
Actually, no, they're into the. Wow. Yeah. No. Wow. Because they're both 2 willpower. My goodness, they're both fun.
Think about the math here. So 2 turns ago, we played a song that got rid of 4 characters. Last turn, we played a song, got rid of 2 characters. This turn, we got rid of 2 more characters. So for 3 cards, we were able to clear 8 characters. Okay, we were able to sing those 3 cards for free by turning this Deceiver of All sideways, which of course completely uncontested because that's how board wipes work. You don't have no way to answer the problem, and we're just laying out more characters: 2 Diablos, 2 Ursula. Well, I guess technically 3 Ursulas. 2 of them just cooler than the other, and a Muse hanging out here in the Hidden Cove. And now keep in mind, Daniele is really, really close to this 24 away. The question becomes, can Mark clear the bridge as we see the Donald Duck, the Mouseketeer here, trying to garner some kind of advantage. We'll see if we can figure that out.
Yeah, notably now, this is one of the problems that Emerald Steel has always had, right? Every single thing on Mark's board has 1 lore on it. So you have to continuously control the game while winning it very, very slowly, which is why we all loved to play against this back in the day. And now it's back here in Infinity. Now, again, that's kind of what I'm saying is, well, never mind. There we go. That Prince John, it does have 2 lore on it. Notably, Daniele does not have any cards in hand, but we're going to go ahead and double boom onto the card on your... We have... oops all answers here as Emerald Steel, and that's basically what we're gonna have. Mark is gonna have to do to make sure that we can't just creep up to the win. Now we do have 8 lore on board, and which is not, a lot. See, now this is what I'm talking about. Here we go. This is a lore card off the top, as we have that Amethyst card that gains you lore. What is that thing called? It's called
Gathering Knowledge and Wisdom. And if we just get 1 more of those, this game is over, folks. We just need 1 more Gathering Knowledge and Wisdom to clear the bridge and get us here. Never going to stop. In honor of WrestleMania this past weekend, CM Punk famously quoted as saying, "Luck is for losers." Never going to stop. Going to have to hard disagree with that sentiment because of all of the luck that we've got so far, as we are going to go ahead and turn these characters sideways. But can Daniele be lucky? Can Daniele top deck another Gathering Knowledge and Wisdom to try to close out this win? But Mark, double thinking about what we're doing here.
P comes down, and that one is the one where you say if it is exerted, you are not able to exert your characters to sing songs. He is not like an actual Pete when he comes into play. Correct. Okay.
That's
I
correct.
wanted to make sure. And we get up to 19.
Wow.
So
Daniele,
here it is off the top. Is it a?
Did we find it?
It's
It was a
Honeyman!
Honeyman!
Oh! We needed one more lore throughout that game, and that's how close it was going to be. My goodness.
Oh my goodness, Honey Marin, not enough to seal the deal. Color, that was crazy. That game took all of 11 minutes. It was exciting from beginning to end. Do we get 3 of these, or do you think that Daniele will be able to mount a comeback here, going first and trying to solve for this? I guess we'll find out.
The thing with this is now the amount of times that I have seen Emerald Steel kind of build up a board in that best situation where we're all like, okay, I have my Ursula Deceiver of all, I have my muses, I have my this, and then not draw songs, especially the fact that the Diablo didn't come down actually very early at all. So we weren't having a lot of card advantage to begin with at the very beginning of the game. So that means that Mark was just kind of ripping gas off the top of their deck. And then eventually we were able to establish that. Now we did have the Let the Storm Rage On, which drew us 2 cards from the Ursula, so that gave us the advantage. And so there was a lot of things that lined up to continuously pull Mark through his deck before he did get to the Diablo, which was going to be ever. So basically, had he stumbled at any turn of the game, Daniele might have been able to have one more turn, which would have meant one more Honey Marin, one more Gathering Wisdom and Knowledge, one more literally anything.
Yeah. Now keep in mind there was a moment there in the game too that Daniele did have a character. I believe it was the Pocahontas that chose not to quest, was hoping to keep that thing alive to use for something more powerful, opted not to do it. But had we had done it, folks, we would have won that game. And so it's important to think about those moments. It really, really matters, because you're trying to get to that magic number 20. Every point counts, especially if you're playing something as fast as his aggro deck. Daniele's probably thinking back the lines there, thinking about that sequence, has to be considering, what went wrong and what needs to go well going into these games. Now have to go to game 2 and 3 if World Class Cards has any hope of winning this match. Is going to have to clear this thing out in game 3. Never going to stop. Mark is saying, I don't think so, dude. That's not going to happen. You can forget about that dream. I'm going to try to shut this thing all the way down here in game 2.
Now we will be on the play. And I mean, if we're going to open with that many daisies, that many Donalds and everything in between, hopefully this deck is the kind of deck that will basically get us where we need to be on the play. This deck is absolutely ferocious on the play. It's absolutely ferocious when you don't see it coming. And I think that, I can't speak to, the normal strategy. I think I've just played Emerald Steel enough and I've had that perfect board and just drawn no songs, and I'm absolutely ruined by it. So again, this deck is so fast it doesn't leave room for stumbling. So I'm very interested to see if Mark can do that again.
Yeah. Mark, I'm sure, wants nothing more than for you to be right, Color. Nothing more than
what just happened?
Right.
What just happened?
Oh,
Yo! Okay, wait. Did we? Okay, I thought that we just passed without even inking and whatever. I messed up. I was like, what strategy is this, Gabriel? What are we doing?
This is crazy. However, look, we have a bird. We have a baby bird here, folks. We have a Diablo in play. We might be able to shift it as we see this hand. We see goats. We see Maleficence. We see lots of lore that
lots
is just
of
waiting.
Set 1 terrors sitting in their hand with an Amethyst Chromacon, which is going to generate us cards, and we will be able to play them much faster than Mark will, because Amethyst Chromacon giving both players a card as we ink the goat. Oh, it's a foil. Shout out Baller as we just go whoop, whoop, whoop. When's the last time you saw this on the board? Lilo making a wish, Maleficent biding her time ×2. This is set 1 nightmares. I'm not okay.
No, this is everything I hated about the first wave of this game. And now that I haven't seen it in so long, I hate to say how much I missed it and how nostalgic this feels. And I'm actually glad that we're here to see this as the Diablo finding its way, shifting on top of the Diablo, losing Find the Ancient Ways, sending a Baboom in to deal with one of these little
Lilo, though. That was so rude.
That is
we had
rude.
2 Maleficents on the board, and you went for the small child. Look at her. She was making a wish straight into the inkwell.
You know,
Baboomed.
I knew Mark was evil, keeping the evil witches alive, and a Baloo finding its way onto the table. This Baloo, what a great card this is in this particular deck. This thing will be able to protect
Bodyguard
these
and
characters.
oh
Has
man, but
bodyguard, and when it becomes banished, it will gain 2 lore. So for dealing with it, it's going to get Daniele closer and closer to that magic number 20. And in steel, it's all about dealing damage. There's no bouncing, there's no inkwell. This isn't Sapphire. As Never Gonna Stop, gonna turn that Diablo sideways, gonna go ahead and challenge into that Baloo, which does not deal damage back. And now we'll start to draw cards and gain advantage from the Diablo.
draw
Although
when
I
you draw.
believe, did he draw? I believe he missed that. I
Yeah,
believe
no,
missed
he
the
did. He
trigger.
grabbed it.
Okay.
He did. He immediately passed the turn and drew kind of
Okay.
before. I'll draw before you draw as we go ahead. And this is my family. Not look at my family. That's 2 different Madrigal cards, but this one does draw you card, gain you 2 lore. That Baloo, though, that is the terror for every Sisu Ruby Sisu player back in the day, because you're like, haha, and they're like, haha, and you're like, oh, you've gotten me. But we do see the goat coming down. You always have another one, and this one is also foil. So I do love that, as we are up to 10 lore with 2 from the Baloo and 1 from the goat. So that's 3 lore that we just have like waiting in the wings. You know what I mean? Like we just put that lore on layaway. We're waiting for it. And
we're investment bankers here. We're saving these points for later, folks, because you never know when you need them.
Not only are we gonna instantly gain lore, like Lord lore, we're also gonna put some on layaway. So you'll see that again that's a special tool that we'll use again later.
There you go. Mouska Tools. Love it. Very on point, as we see. Never Gonna Stop. Gonna have to figure this out. We do have the Deceiver of All. Gonna go ahead and choose to play the Hypnotize here, getting rid of that last card. We see that it is an Amethyst Chromacon. So yeah, that could certainly help Daniele dig even deeper to try to get past this halfway point. But Mark is going to need a little bit more than that. Going to send some ink in, going to play another Diablo to look at a no card hand. And it looks like, so we're sending the Diablo in, going to deal with the Baloo, gets us up to 12. The question becomes, do we have a song, or are we going to have to deal with the board the fair way? We are not. We're saying go. So we did not get a song, but hoping that we do going into this next turn.
Yeah, and here Daniele is saying, hey, listen, I'm just going to throw this off the top and add more to it, because basically if I get to anything close to 17, 18, or 19, everything off the top of my deck is live. So kind of just like waiting to see if we can do anything here. Unfortunately, the goat is still representing 1 lore, so we are at a guaranteed 18 lore. So now you're going to need muses and songs and dancing for the rest of the game forever and ever. And this is kind of what I was talking about last time, where we had just the perfect run of cards to keep us in the game. But this is just a normal run of cards from Daniele, as we saw the Amethyst Chromacon discarded there and didn't really get us what we needed. So we go ahead, let's sing Let the Storm Rage On. God, I hate that card. As it goes ahead and double sings, getting rid of 2 things here, drawing 2 cards, and seeing what else we can do about this board.
Yeah, it may be too little too late here, but I think Mark drawing additional cards may be able to solve for some things. We do have characters on board to deal with that Maleficent. That goat, however, a little bit beefier than we'd like, unless we're able to dispatch it with something like in a song that we just drew. However, again, as Color's been telling you, that's 1 more lore. We're fighting for the board here, but you got to do it. You got to get rid of it. You can't let this thing linger. I'm sorry. And you're going to have to just fight, kind of like what you did last game, with inching so close and being 2 points away, but try to take control of this board and just win this whole thing out, is what Mark is trying to do here, and is what this deck can do.
Sorry, I was like, I just saw a max goof in Mark's hand, which we would be able to play and then pay 1 to actually buy us back a song and get it back into our hand. Now, it would have to be exactly strength, be able to go ahead and get rid of that goat, because the 2 damage from the Let the Storm Rage On would not get rid of the goat. So we're trying to figure out what we can do to not have to trade our card engine Diablo into your lore gaining goat, because if you have any kind of bounce in here, it's going to make me upsetty. But again, getting rid of that goat will put us at 18, and then everything is off the top of Daniele's deck forever and ever is basically going to be a problem. So this is one way to do it. All righty. Okay.
So looking for more advantage here, opting to play the Diablo, getting yourself situated to potentially draw more songs to be able to deal with the board. That does mean that this goat will get a chance to quest, getting it to 18, but ultimately means 19, really, if you think about it, because of that removal. So let's just assume that we've got 19. Play the Pocahontas and just tells Mark, deal with it. Like, do what you got to do and deal with it. Otherwise, I win.
Yeah, that was definitely basically saying, hey, I'm going to let you get to 19, and then now not 50% of your cards are scary. Every card that you have is scary until I do something about it. Now we are going to go ahead. The strength is there, getting rid of that and also getting rid of that. So now we're down to no board, 19 lore, no cards in hand. But again, remember, this deck is built to do one thing and do it well.
And there's so many. We've already seen Honey Marin. So now we are within one. A Honey Marin wins the game.
Gathering knowledge and strength on the bottom of your deck.
Gathering knowledge and wisdom wins the game. A goat wins the game. I mean, it feels like almost 50% of any of Daniele's card draw right now could win this game. The question becomes, do we draw it? Are we lucky enough?
I have no idea. You were cutting in and out there. I don't know if everybody can hear me or you or the mic that went. And there is the white rose right there off the top, which is the win. Because guess what? It gives you one lore. Because everything in this deck gives you a lore. My goodness. So there we go. We get to go to game 3. Which is what I wanted.
Yeah, Daniele here. But look at the time. So much time for this game. We get 40 minutes to do this really, really fast game. It is going to be nuts. Daniele clearing the bar here, being able to clear this game 2 puts Daniele back in a position now where he could win this thing, could take this first round 4 world-class cards. Mark trying to put a stop to it, say, no, I won game 1. I deserve to win this whole thing. Can he do it? Both players, fantastic players, great. Both of these decks just menaces on their own, as we've seen. We've just seeing Mark get so fortunate with the draw, getting those Diablos, getting those songs to deal with the board. Exactly what you want to see, but not able to get that in game 2, where Daniele was able to just perfectly enact the plan of going real fast, playing cards that get you lore, and then doing it again, and then winning the game. So we'll see what this game 3 looks like.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting decision. I think Mark sitting there at that last turn, kind of pausing for a second. I think I liked maybe instead moving the Diablo to the Cove and then challenging and getting rid of that goat and maybe stopping us at 18 as opposed to letting you get to 19, which would have meant that you had to have exactly Gathering Wisdom and Knowledge or something of the like, maybe back-to-back Honey Marins, but definitely not just a white rose off the top, which is... it's like way back in the day, and now apparently in this new day and age, if you let Amethyst decks get to 17, you have basically lost the game.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep, 17 is basically, you're right, basically the end of the game here. Man, oh man. And as we see Let the Storm Rage on screen, what a great card that is. No wonder. I don't blame them for not bringing that thing back. I understand. It was very powerful. Still is very powerful in Infinity. But it's only 2 damage color. How could it be so strong if it's just 2 damage? Just 2
because it
damage.
Nukes everything with any kind of underdog or Cindy Singer 3s on 1. I'm gonna get out of here. Angel and get out of here with that. You Amber Steel. I hear your Amber Steel agenda over there. What did this card ever do wrong? Listen, it made me not ever get to play a 1-drop on turn 1. That's what this card did. As we go on here. Oh. You had fun.
I loved when you didn't play any, like you played a card for 4 turns and none of it mattered. Like that was my favorite thing. So much fun.
Listen, you play a turn 1 Cindy and I go
game
pass
2.
and you go and I'm like, listen, I want to play my 1-drop and I want it to not have to be, a 1/3 just to make it through this.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Olaf and
you can't even clear that bar.
Minnie Mouse.
That was the classic maneuver back then. Don't play a 1-drop so that you can play 2 1-drops on 2. That used to work. And then they came out with Troubadour and Ursula Vanessa, and then they said, no, just JK.
Yeah.
I just need 2 songs now. That's all.
Have you met my friend Zeus? He hurls thunderbolts.
Yeah, and then Thunderbolt because
and along he came.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not scarred at all. You can't tell what kind of player I used to be, right? As we do. There he goes. But shout out to the art, though. God, this one went so hard. Like, especially in the back in the day. I know that like enchanted art gets just like exponentially better, like each set. But like, I remember this was peak. This peak. As we go ahead, Inca Max Goof to play a Diablo to take a little peek with the bird. As we
What an interesting hand here. So we see about three of the 7 cards are uninkable. Blues, lots of 2s and 3 drops, not a lot of 1 drops though. So we are going to be playing a little bit more fair, it appears, unless we draw into some of the 1 drops that are there. We do have Underdog though. Underdog does work here because Daniele is going second. So being able to put down that Christopher Robin, effectively being a 1 drop here. So we'll see if we are able to enact our speed plan or if we're playing on curve, which is not really where aggro wants to be. Aggro playing on curve, generally not the place you want to be at. You want to kind of be playing like multiple cards per turn if you can help it.
As we go ahead, shift the Diablo Devoted Herald, get rid of Keeping the Ancient Ways, and questing immediately. Just get the bird sideways, because again, you know what? I don't know if any of you know this, but when he's exerted, whenever your opponent draws a card, you also may draw a card.
Yeah.
As we see a white rose going down, we draw. And there we go. We drew into the 1 drop. There's probably 12 1 drops in this deck. So we were able to go 2 1 drops on 2 with the Daisy, Donald's Date into Maleficent, biding her time.
Yeah, we found it. We did find 1. So we are going fast. We're going so fast, such fast.
Gotta go fast. It's Ursula, Deceiver of All, coming down. I mean, this is the perfect Emerald Seal curve. It's like what you want to be doing, especially into the deck like this. So we're kind of curving out. Everybody's doing exactly what they want to do. Now it seems it just is a matter of who stumbles first.
Yeah. Who's not able to do the thing, right? Like everybody's laying stuff out. Is Mark going to be able to clear this board? Is going to be able to put a hole in this board, or is Daniele just going to go extremely wide here, lay out 8 characters before Mark even knows what to do about anything, and just solve for all of this? We're going to find out now as we're going to turn this bird sideways for a quest. We're going on a quest, and we went ahead and we passed. Okay, so no song to show and to use this Deceiver of All for, as Daniele will get his turn.
Opting not to challenge into the because we can't, because he's a 1/3. What an egregious underdog character. As we do go ahead and just quest for a jaunty 6 lore on turn. I don't even know. It's 3, but we're gonna go ahead and put Baloo down. He's also gonna give us 2 lore. We have that on layaway, unless we just Muse's Bounce, which we did get off of the Daisy's Donald Date trigger. So we are kind of where there's different ways out of this. There's different ways out of this. Blue might not gain us 2 lore, but you got to bounce him for the rest of your eternity, as we are up to 8 lore to 2 here.
That Muses is kind of a big draw here. If we can play that, Muses. If we were able to draw a song in between it with that Diablo draw or for the turn draw, completely will shift this board around. We can get that Baloo out of here. It will not be banished, so it will not trigger the additional lore. It'd be a great way to deal with that Baloo. And we would be able to just kind of stabilize in this moment, and Mark can solve for it. But the question becomes, did we find a song to sing with the Deceiver of All, or did we just draw 3 characters in those 3 cards that we saw? That's really what we're trying to find. We do Inca Hypnotize. We play the Muses. Is there a song to come?
Never didn't have it.
He never didn't have it. He never didn't have it. You were so right. He never didn't have it. As we are going to make some choices
Christopher Robin
here.
for sure. It has to be Christopher Robin, and then we're going to go take. I don't know. I'm insane. Do 1 damage to the Daisy, and then challenge in with the Diablo, getting rid of the Daisy, and then bouncing the Blue. But you're double singing onto the Christopher Robin and the Maleficent, biding her time.
There's just so many ways you can go about this. Lots of choices here. And don't forget about the double Muse triggers. You got all kinds of stuff to deal with.
Baloo's into my hand. Just kidding. We decided to give you the 2 lore. It's fine. I wanted to make you replay that Baloo for the rest of your life. That sucker costs 3. Replay it over and over, as we are just going to go ahead and hand you back the Daisy.
Yeah, Mark valuing the characters not going back to hand, opting to just deal with the characters as you can. So, saying, hey, we're going to not use this trigger, and we're just going to challenge into these characters, do this the fair way, try to slow down things that you can continue to put down, because otherwise Daniele would just be in a position to constantly empty his hand onto this board, and Mark is going to have to constantly find songs and deal with them that way. But Daniele at 10 lore, dropping down a Piglet and a Daisy Duck.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, it's going to be off the top here. I don't know how many cards we have left in hand. Actually, more than I would probably like my aggro opponent to have, as we see quite a few cards flipping around over on Daniele's side. As we go ahead and Ink Pete, and throw down another Diablo. What's it like to draw every card you need to see? Just kidding. It's a hidden cove. So the gang's all here. I'm not upset at all, as we go ahead and put the Ursula onto the cove. and we're just gonna quest it because it's
Yeah.
now huge.
It is so big, hard to deal with, but I get the vibes here that Daniele's probably not caring about dealing with it. I think we want to just go fast. We've got that Piglet down. We've got that Daisy Duck. The lore clock is in our favor. Daniele's kind of indicating, hey, speed is the name of the game. And so, these characters being big will be good when Daniele turns these characters sideways, is able to collect 5 lore from them, going all the way up to 15. And then Mark is going to be forced to respond as we play another Baloo. And we knew it was there because we saw at the beginning of the game he had at least 2 of them questing up to 15. That Baloo, and we reveal not a character.
Song. Yeah, definitely. The Keep the Ancient Ways going on the bottom of the deck, which again, that card probably wouldn't do. Actually, it would stop the ability to play a lot of those gathering wisdom and knowledge kind of cards, and it is a song which would trigger the muses. So it's hoping Mark has another song here, hopefully with an oops all song deck, because we're just going to go ahead, move some things around potentially. Now everything is exerted, so we'll be able to take it out in a good old-fashioned challenge. However, again, we're that Baloo sitting there with the 2 lore on layaway, waiting in the wings.
Yeah, that Baloo is just so much trouble. If we can keep bouncing that thing back, that's the way I'd rather deal with that. Giving Daniele any amount of lore is not where you generally want to be. We're going to go ahead and play that Ursula Deceiver, and what we see, lots of gas. We see 2 Lilos. We see a Honey Marin, and so that is more lore just waiting in hand. And Mark, knowing this now, needs more songs. Just all songs, yes, please.
So basically, right there, if you banish that Baloo, that is basically going to give you 2 lore, and then you have the Honey Marin, which will get you all the way to 18. And that is saying that we clear the board right now. Banish the Baloo, get rid of the Piglet, get rid of the Daisy, unless we have songs to just bounce that stuff back to your hand for the rest of our lives. Again, this deck is built. I hate it, but I respect it. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
I'm like, oh man, you got them. As we take everybody into a cove party, moving it all over.
Yeah, it's a little bit cold, a little bit damp, but that's what we're here to do. Is we send that Baloo to banishment. We send that into the discard pile, which gets Daniele 2 more lore. We're up to 17, which means that we are sitting with game on board, just waiting for Daniele to deal with it. However, we're taking that deal with these characters. We have to. Yeah, we have to deal with these characters. There's just no choice here, as Daniele now presented with another awkward board state. No characters on Daniele's side. Mark having to use his characters, doing so effectively. We do have that Cove, which has made the math a little bit easier. But will Daniele be able to close out 3 more points, folks? We've got tons of cards that could do it. But do we have them? We know we have at least one. We've got the Honey Marin, and we see it coming down here. That takes us to 18. Can we find a Gathering Knowledge and Wisdom? No, but we do have a 2-cost character that we also know about.
As a 1-cost character. So Honey Marin only costs 2. My goodness, that should be
Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild?
Go ahead, using our 3 total ink to just put threat after threat onto the board again. Now, this is another thing. We don't want to bounce the Honey Marin because that's going to be a problem. So we do have to figure out a way to get rid of this with a song or something else, because if we bounce the Honey Marin, it just puts us back into that same situation. And I think that's really funny in a messed up way. If you're not Mark, if you're anybody but Mark, I think maybe there's some humor to be found there. But Muses is a terror, and we are going to go ahead and scoop it up. I do believe that's okay. Mark's saying, I don't even feel like dealing with this. I don't want to do the math, as Daniele takes it in game 3 with the fastest deck I've seen in a really long time.
Wow.
Oh, he's like, look, I had stuff. Oh man,
such speed.
You won, my man. Get out of here. Shoot.
That was something. That was something. Daniele, for world-class cards, able to come back and win games 2 and 3 and close out this round 1 on the board for world-class cards. 1 game in. Man, oh man, Mark, but with a valiant effort, tried so hard and got so far, but as I like to say, in the end, just couldn't get there. So,
I like how you didn't get sued at the very end. Like the last 3 words made sure you didn't get sued. That's crazy. But again, that is like what I was saying in game 1. Like it really looked like, oh, okay, wow, is being dealt with. Steel is the natural predator for this deck. Yeah. But unfortunately, in game 1, Mark was like gas. I mean, he drew 2 strengths, 2 this, 2 that. Like just being able to double sing. So you're netting 4 times a song for that kind of situation. So that's what it took to stop this deck. And you still stopped them at 19. So again, I think that Mark played it really, really well in terms of like the best of their ability for this. I like, again, it's kind of like one of those gotcha decks. Like I got you. And if you can stop me, you might win this game. If you cannot stop me, I'm gonna accidentally win it. But again, I don't mean to, whoop. Are we here?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. I was like, what just happened?
No worries. We're good. We're good. Yeah. You know what it is it was squat time. So everybody's saying that it was time to do some squats. And I think Luke may have accidentally hit it with his knee or something. He may have hit the computer with his knee.
Luke's doing squats and hitting accidental buttons.
Yeah. So no worries there. But folks, that was crazy. That was quick too. I would imagine. I got to imagine we've got another game somewhere lying in wait for us to watch to be able to get some additional Lorcana in here. I got to imagine. But we're going to give Luke a chance to do that. But folks, I see we have currently 64 people hanging out with us on Twitch. Thanks for hanging out with us. That's crazy. Watching some Lorcana. You're here to hang out with Color and myself. We appreciate it. I'm an avid member of the Color Army. I see we've got some Gabe babes in the chat as well. So love to see all of my friends there hanging out.
Oh,
and look, we did get another game, and I see a goat. Or sorry, rather, I see a fox, and I see a genie. I like to see it.
Oh, Emerald Amethyst says we see the cursed merfolk slammed down next to their best friend, Madam Mim Fox, as we have the genie wish fulfilled on the side. Elsa Fifth Spirit, she's looking real shiny. And then Diablo, I don't know. What is he, spiteful? Is he mystical? Is he magical?
I believe.
Don't know.
Yeah, I think one's spiteful, and then this.
Oh, my favorite card in the game is Lady Tremaine comes down and she's enchanted. By the way, and we get to get rid of a character, and we go ahead and opt for the Madam Mim Fox, which only has one lore, as opposed to Cursed Merfolk has 2, and Genie also has 2. So that's still going to be 4 lore, getting us up to 19 on Sarah's side. So Tremaine not doing enough here.
No, not enough at all. Yeah, and Sarah realizing that. Sarah very intelligently saying, listen, I'm here to win the game, and I'm so close at this point, and you're so far away. As my goodness, hey, is that the DLC Pegasus? It is.
Absolutely
it is the DLC Pegasus. What a great card that is. I love that card. I actually was looking at mine. Man, I was trying, what deck can I put it in?
Using it to reset. Now doing the classic thing. Are we going to quest all and be prepared? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. It's here. It's still here. And I think that's the Japanese version. So
I believe so. Yeah.
But again, I did love Sarah doing that age-old thing where they quest and then reset their character with the Madam Mim Fox, bringing it back out so it's ultra ready. And just kidding. Here's an epic Pegasus to go ahead off the top. Now, this is the thing. Can we continue to stop you at that 19 lore as we go ahead and prep a Pegasus?
Listen,
let's go.
You gotta do what you gotta do, Color, as we see in Elsa.
Can you do it again? Is it going to be a Mad Medusa off the top, which would be able to take care of it? 3 ink ain't gonna do it. 5 ink is gonna do it. It's a Demona. We are gonna turn it sideways, and there's nothing we can do with 1 ink left in our thing. Oh my goodness.
Man, wow. So Sarah taking this one. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that was game 2. So I believe we're going into a game 3. We got 22 minutes left. So yeah, so that was Sarah taking game 2 there. So we got to see the conclusion of game 2 in this match, about to go to game 3. So Ivan is now going to have the opportunity to go first. And we've already gotten a bit of a taste, a little bit of a sampler of what we can expect. And I'm kind of excited. I got to say, I love these two decks. I'm a huge fan of Emerald Amethyst. I'm a huge fan of the Ruby, of being able to play Be Prepared, a card I miss. I wish it couldn't come back, but hey, Raging Storm is okay too. We don't hate Raging Storm. We do love Raging Storm, but it's Infinity. It's Infinity Week, and I do love me some Be Prepared.
Oh yeah, makes me very happy, especially the Japanese version. That's fun, but at the same time, we're going to get to see it. And I know you love this Emerald and Amethyst deck because I met you once upon a time ago, before we knew each other. We played in Vegas and you were on this deck and I was on Ruby Sapphire, and you took a game off of me in a 2-game format, and I was upset.
That's okay.
I proceeded to be in the worst bracket ever. I was doing so good until we met, sir.
Yeah. So I am so sorry that I ruined your life in Las Vegas. I apologize.
Nah, it wasn't you. It wasn't you. I was like, I was flying high, and then I was like, no, not the 1-1. Not
Yeah.
now.
Man,
Ugh.
boy, which speaking of which, who misses 2-game format in the chat? Anybody who misses that?
Chill. Good thing we're
Oh,
in an
goodness.
ad. Woo!
Yeah. 100%. Yes, as we see, this is the extra spicy section of it. Rascal's like, dude, no,
Like,
no, please to that.
No.
Yes, as we see our friends hanging out here in the chat with us. We got Sarah shuffling up. We got Ivan shuffling up. What a great night. It is Infinity night, folks. Oh, Infinity week, rather, folks. It is a Tuesday night, and it is ICL on a Tuesday with Infinity and going back in the past here. I love it. I'm so excited to be here.
As we do see Ivan over there rocking that championship Tinkerbell mat. So shout out for your set champs going better than my set champs. But you know what? I like Sarah's little kitty cat mat
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
thing. It's like because they're like peeking out.
Yeah, are
And
they like
look
in
like
the
they want
Wildernut?
something for you.
It's like a bunch
There
of
you
kitties in
go.
the
Maybe.
Wildernut.
Looks like they are.
They're hanging out.
That was a really cool altered Friends on the Other Side. Maybe I just missed Friends on the Other Side that much, but it did go in the inkwell and we did pass, which I don't love doing that in Ruby Amethyst. I need my 1-drops if I'm not playing against Amber Steel.
Yeah,
So let's see how that works for them.
Yeah, Ruby Amethyst a huge. So Ruby Amethyst was doing it before it was cool. What Amethyst Steel does now, the 1, 2, 3, trying to like lay out these characters, trying to play on curve. As we see the White Rabbit and Underdog finding its way here on Infinity Week. Love to see it. And Diablo, oh my goodness, that's that evil bird. I believe this is the Spiteful Raven, if I'm not mistaken.
He probably is, but again, he's coming in and he has a 3 strength, 3 willpower, 2 lore. But the thing is, I don't think that sucker is evasive, but that White Rabbit with Underdog is, and so is that Pegasus, but the Cursed Merfolk isn't. So you can go ahead and challenge into that and discard a card if you would like. So
Yeah. Seems like a
Brawl
fair trade-off
is
for
in
me.
this format. I don't want to take a brawl. I don't want to take a turn off to brawl that White Rabbit. Ugh.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
I mean, what else can you do? You've got 2 evasive characters. You still got to
play
deal with the Diablo.
Sisu.
You could play. You're not wrong. You could play Sisu as well. That is certainly an option here. But listen, if you got to do what you got to do,
don't bounce that Diablo. Don't
do it.
Please don't.
Don't.
Not the fox.
Not
See,
like
you don't want to do it. I don't want you to do it.
Not
Play a
like
character
this.
that sticks on the river. So Broom into Cusco. Let's go. Okay, diversifying and getting a little bit more strength on the board, getting a little wider. I like that. They will be able to replace themselves in a certain order. So those will be able to get us more cards. How you manage your 1-drops is where you define a really good Amethyst player. But let's see what Sarah's got over here. As it's a crab. No,
Crab is
not
good.
the.
Crab is good.
Okay. Interesting. So
That
we
is
did
tough.
take the Pegasus, pump it up with the crab, giving it +3 strength, and using the Pegasus, which only has 1 lure on it, but it is evasive, and you would take out the Diablo, which is like a pretty decent threat into this board. Now, we still have the White Rabbit, we still have the Cursed Merfolk, and that will make us discard a card.
Yeah, and Sarah here, of course, valuing that, like the Cursed Merfolk, while not evasive, and it does quest for 2, valuing the fact that it has that. It also will put a damper on Ivan's hand if Ivan is not able to draw some cards. We do have these 2 cards here we talked about last game in the World Class. Oh, Fox is here. But we talked about having lore on layaway. Well, what Ivan's effectively doing with these Amethyst cards is we got card drawn.
Oh, not a Medusa. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just like this is my deck, you guys, and I just miss it. As we are going to ink the brawl, play the broom that we did bounce with the Madame Mim Fox, but we did challenge into the Cursed Merfolk, which made us discard a card, and it was the Madame Medusa because we are a little bit far off from that, and she is quite uninkable. We just got to stay on it until we get there, as we see the Genie Wish Fulfilled coming down.
Yeah, that Genie, of course, replacing itself in card draw. You love to see that in cards. It's usually a mark of a strong card if it says that. As we play Mother Knows Best, just that card just bouncing back and forth, just cannot stay much longer than it needs to. Sarah choosing not to bounce the Fox, not to bounce the Cusco as well, as Ivan now will get a chance to go.
I like it, making you replay the room because you are absolutely starved for cards at this point. You're having to ink everything good off the top. We saw you put a Madame Medusa in there, and now we go ahead and so we did the thing anyway. You played it, you played down the crab, you pop the broom to draw a card, then we'll pump up the Cusco, giving it 3 extra strength, challenging in. It will then be banished on the challenge, and then you will also get to draw a card for when it is banished. Then we ink a Pirate's Life. We're doing classic Ruby Amethyst things. And in Infinity, it's usually not that powerful, but against Emerald and Amethyst, you kind of stand a chance.
Yeah, it's very fair. This Amethyst Emerald is a very, very fair deck. It's often described as being very fair. It does a lot of fighting for the board. It's really good at dealing with problems, bouncing cards back. A very good tempo deck. But what that does afford your opponent to do is to take a little bit of, can take some turns off sometimes, can slow down. We just saw the Magic Broom being played 3 times. In effect, that Magic Broom was a 3-cost card, if you really think about how much we paid for it. But we can do that. We can do that in this matchup because of how fair this matchup can be. Sarah can punish us and can try to skip ahead in lore, try to skip ahead with all these evasive characters. But Ivan knows that the longer this game goes, if we can keep control of this game, the inevitability is on Ivan's side in this game, not on the side of Amethyst Emerald.
The inevitability correct, yes, but I will say that at least by the end, I felt like Emerald and Amethyst was very favored into this deck. It was usually like if I'm like, please be a mirror, and they were like, I'm gonna play an Emerald card. I'm like, no. So definitely have some options here. We are gonna go ahead and exert the Fox to pick up the Fox. So we're gonna quest with the Fox to pick up a Fox. So we're now Fox jingle jangle juggling things back onto the board, and now we are going to have to go ahead and take a quest. As are we going to ink the Fox? Okay, we're going to ink a Cheshire Cat to then go ahead and play the we are in trouble. We
have so many foxes.
We're in danger. We're in danger. We are jingle jangling foxes back and forth to put crabs back into our hand with no way to get after these evasive characters, and that is what is going to take us out here, I think.
Yeah, that's trouble because the whole Oh no, and we got a hit, folks. We got a hit. We found that. Be prepared. This is not going to go well for Ivan. I think that when you're, just like Color was describing, when you are in a situation where you are bouncing your own characters, when Sarah is already doing a fine job of that herself for you, you are giving tempo to your opponent in this situation. But what else can you do? You look at Ivan's hand, you look at the situation, just trying to create characters that can scare Sarah a little bit. But Sarah ain't scared. She ain't scared at all. She's sitting here hanging out as Ivan with an Elsa exerting the board and now trying to deal with everything we can.
Yeah, no, that was unfortunate. We did do a bunch of bouncing shenanigans to put an ink back into our hand. That way we would have been able to ink and then play the Be Prepared that turn. But Sarah correctly identifying that, playing the Ursula Deceiver, taking that Be Prepared right up out of your hand. And we did able to get a Elsa Fist Spirit off of the top of our deck to take care of that White Rose. But of course, Sarah just rips a Friends on the other side to go ahead and hard play that, draw a couple cards, and efficiently use the cards because I'm sure it has a low curve, and they will be able to play kind of, anything in their deck, putting more threats on the board. And now, Ivan has no cards in hands, you guys. That's a Ruby Amethyst player with no cards in hand.
Yeah, that's not
just a moment of silence.
Yeah, that's not where you want to be. You're trying to, at this point, you're like, please let me draw friends. Please let me draw. I need a friends here. As we see Madam Mim, the tiny adversary, on the board here, making Genie so strong and dealing with the there was 2. I believe there was 2 on that also. So yeah, that Genie does deal 3 damage with that.
We know that there's a crab in hand.
Yeah,
that's what it was. We know that there's a crab in hand, but just kidding. We got a Medusa off the top because that's what Ruby Amethyst does.
Yes.
And that's why you guys were always so angry with us, is because things like this come off the top. We'll go ahead and ink the crab. So now we are sitting at that 7 ink, but here the top of our deck has to keep being good to us as we drew a really, what did we draw on Sarah's turn? Did they moved all of their ink, or were they exerting all the ink? They were. It's an Elsa. Yeah.
Oh goodness, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and challenge that Fox, which of course keeps the Elsa just barely able to survive that challenge with 1 willpower left. Both players now fighting for control of the board, trying to reestablish control. We're kind of in a soft spot here. Both players trying to figure out how they can turn this corner. Sarah ahead of the lore game with 12. Ivan trying to catch up, sitting at 8, as we see Elsa exerting that Madam Mim and dealing with both of these characters What a strong turn that was. Ivan may have figured it out. Ivan may have turned the corner here, but Sarah
Figured out the top of his deck figure. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But I'm just saying, there we go. Dumbo coming on down. That was going to be great with the Elsa and perfectly pairing it with the Pegasus. Say that again 5 times fast. And then you'll be able to have that card generation that Sarah needs to get back in this game. But just kidding. We dropped a Demona off the top. Will give us 3 cards. Well, 2 cards for Sarah, 3 cards for Ivan, because again, the Ruby Amethyst players, top of their deck is their best friend.
It really is. And we're going to sing friends as well. We just went to 6 cards in hand, folks. We just went to 6 cards. We drew 3 from Demona, drew 3 from friends. Boy, oh boy, is this the game all over again. This is crazy.
And we'll play a Diablo, which, by the way, guess what he does, Gabe? Does he draw cards?
Yeah, I do believe that's the thing that bird does. It does draw. Diablo draws cards. It looks at hands and it draws cards all the time. It's crazy what this bird can do.
Oh my goodness. As we ink an enchanted Maui hero at all, because he's not helping us very much with these evasive characters. Dumbo coming in. Now oh my gosh. As we have an Ursula Deceiver. Is it a be prepared? It's not. It's a fox and a rabbit. Name a better pair for Amethyst and Ruby. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, that rabbit! I missed that rabbit. I gotta say, I really missed that rabbit. That rabbit is such a good card. Even now, just the ability to come in, draw cards, leave the game, draw cards. Rabbit, great card. Top 10 Lorcana cards of all time, if you ask me. In the top 10. Don't pin me down and ask me which number exactly. I'm just willing to say top 10. That's where I'm willing to put my flag on it. Okay.
Isn't it 72?
What's that?
Rabbits. Or no, that's goat. Okay, I was like, what card number is rabbit and goat? I'm pretty sure one of them is 72. But anyway, as we do see the genie, hold up, this genie is kind of wild. When he's exerted, he gives your characters +2 or plus something or plus whatever. But pretty good. He's also evasive too. And I can't see it. I thought it was, we're gonna look on the card reader and see what card this is. As this board is looking insane. My goodness.
Crazy. Speaking of crazy, there's that rabbit we were talking about. We're anticipating the return of the rabbit to draw some cards here. Merlin Rabbit. What a crazy card here. Drawing cards. Ivan, both players trying to figure this out still. Sarah ahead of the game in terms of lore count, 13 to Ivan's number 8. Ivan having the board control, though, needing to solve the problem of these characters and then trying to catch back up to eventually win this thing.
Yeah, and why did we slow roll that? We know we're just kidding. We had another rabbit. That's why I was like, do you want to pick up that rabbit or do you want to put down another rabbit? Now, that is kind of the thing, right? You have to protect them. That's your card generation. Obviously, we have Demona, and that's and there's a guidebook. So we don't have to really protect them as much anymore because we have so many alternative ways of drawing cards because apparently Amethyst is the only ink color that gets to draw cards. I'm kidding. But now, throwing down the 2 rabbits means, hey, I don't have to diversify my threats. I don't have to protect this rabbit with my life. I just can throw down this one, and you know I have a fox in my hand. So go ahead and turn that Ursula sideways, and then I'll just go ahead, bounce this rabbit, and draw more cards, challenge in with that. And so this deck is doing so many things. Oh my goodness.
It really is. As we opt to go in for a challenge, leaving Dumbo with 1 willpower left remaining on it, telling Sarah, if you want to use this thing to challenge, you better make it good because it is not going to survive. Sarah, of course, here with these 3 characters representing 4 total lore on the board. Sarah's doing the math and saying, hey, so
this is my favorite turn.
Can I figure this out? Can I get from behind this hump? Can I climb the mountain and win this thing with a couple of turns? Opting to do the breaking records effect.
We're going to go do that first because we do have the option with the genie. Now that would take us -1 lore. So maybe if we can find a way to win off the top of our deck, we can quest the genie and then quest the Ursula, win off the top of our deck in a very fun fashion. But at the same time, there's not a ton of ways to do that. Depending on this list, we could do some fun. Nope, that's Madam Mim Skater. That's not going to get us there. Now we're basically saying we're having to buff up things. Now the genie does give extra strength when it's turned sideways. So the Ursula will be able to punch in a little bit harder, but I don't think that many very things are going to be able to take the Demona off the board. So all we need to do is get rid of, just kidding, we'll just draw a Mother Knows Best and bounce the Demona back to your hand. That gets rid of that threat pretty handily. Going ahead, questing in and saying, you ain't got it.
No, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Sarah is saying. Sarah is saying, I dare you. I double dog dare you to do something about this thing. And the question becomes, does Ivan have it? Does Ivan have
What
it
is he?
here?
Oh, if he be prepared, he gets to draw 3 cards.
Yep.
If he has to have be prepared in his hand, because that's probably why. Ooh, I like that. Being able to throw those rabbits down with the Diablo, being able to refill your hand.
Yep.
If you throw the be prepared, and now Sarah will just lose their board. Now they only have 1-ish cards in hand. So, I mean, this is the dastardly thing that they do. We did see library. We did see a couple other things in there, the post be prepared madness, but we are taking a little bit of time to think about what we're doing. So I don't think it's a quest be prepared turn.
No, yeah, that feels like it'd be an automatic motion right here. Ivan, to your point, Ivan opting through, going through the lines in his mind, saying, "Hey, what is the way I get out of this? How do I survive this game? I want to make sure I make the right call here in order to do that." So we're going to start by exerting, or rather by challenging the Diablo, potentially trying to find that be prepared, I believe. We're going to go ahead and send the rabbit in, also challenging that. We are
And
digging
because of
for
the
that be prepared.
Ursula, or because of the genie, Ursula actually takes out the rabbit because of the strength from the genie. And we are going to go ahead and sing Friends on the Other Side with the Medusa. We are digging and praying and digging. Are we going to be able? Are we going to throw the rabbit in to dig 1 card deeper? My goodness, this is a lot of resources. And saying be prepared is our only option here.
We've seen 5 cards. I would imagine that choosing the challenge with that rabbit is indicate. Yeah, that's exactly what it does. We did not find it.
That still takes us down to 2 lore, and it kind of did a little bit of something, but that was our whole turn. As we have Sven, just kidding, Sven's evasive as he comes in, rushes in, takes out the Dumbo. So we spent a lot of our resources on finding answers, but we were able to find those answers.
That was tough, though. That was
and the Queen's Castle.
Yeah, that was such a resource-heavy turn for Ivan. That was very, very tough. We did draw a bunch of cards, so hopefully that can get us back into this game. Ivan's going to go ahead and it is slamming down the library.
Oh my gosh, that's a full board clear. Having your Mim Challenger +2, I do believe, but we threw the library down to ensure it. That's going to be a little bit difficult to get off the board, but hey, Sarah's got answers. Friends on the other side. Just go ahead and hard playing it. Ain't going to do it. Ain't going to do it.
No, but yeah.
Ain't going to do it.
Probably that is not going to do it. We might be able to find answers, but we have to do with this library. This library is going to start to creep real bad here. This Madam Mim is going to likely potentially go in for a quest, try to get a little bit closer to that magic number 20. We see Peter Pan. This is a rush and evasive character here, so that could deal with the board. But Sarah's saying, no, I need to go fast. This character can only challenge, so we're going to do that since I have to do this.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and put 3 damage into that library, which is not nothing, getting all the way to 18. So Ivan's going to have an answer for 2 characters now. We spent our turn drawing so many cards. I don't think I mean, we could just be prep and ride because we have that location on board.
We certainly can.
So that is greedy.
That is 100% an option. Listen, but you sometimes you got to do it because that's how you get to the end of these games. And if you could find the things you can find, I think that having dug so much could have saved Ivan here. We do play the magic broom, trying to find more answers. We see the fox, Madam Fox, bringing back an answer.
That is amazing. We go ahead, play the broom, put it onto the library, bounce the Madam Mim with the Medusa with the fox. And then we could go ahead and pop the broom to draw 2 cards if we so choose to do that. We could leave it around for the lore, but I don't know. I like cards.
Yeah, I think cards are pretty sweet. Cards are pretty sweet. We do love drawing cards. Cards are pretty awesome. That Madam and Fox hanging out now, having done that challenge into that Madam Mim. Doing the math, though. We're thinking through it. Can we do it? We are able to.
Oh, it's a Tremaine. Nice. And that means we still have the Medusa left in hand for whatever you might pull off the top. If you go ahead and play a couple things to the board, which would negate Tremaine's effects, which is, you really only know to have one thing on the board when you play a Tremaine. So opting to keep the Medusa to use the Tremaine to get rid of Peter Pan. And it's another Friends on the Other Side right off the top. Just so like you could have wanted it.
So much digging. We need answers. We've got to deal with this board because the clock now is shifting over to Ivan's side. Ivan's got this thing pretty close here. We've got the Ursula Deceiver. No song.
Didn't have it.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the song. Nope. Doesn't have the Pirate's Life. Doesn't have the Be Prepared. Has a Medusa, which is going to be able to handily take care of that Ursula. And we also have a Demona, which will be able to refill. There we go. Sarah going ahead deciding to ink. So maybe they'll get a little bit of value off that Demona. But this is looking a little rough.
Yeah,
Holy.
this is tough because Sarah was so close, so very close, as Ivan skips all the way up to 19, able to secure this game. If Sarah has no answers, we're going to get rid of this Ursula. I have to imagine that Sarah, who is not running Ruby, does not have a Be Prepared in deck, not running Amber, so we're not going to see a Raging Storm here.
Play a goat, play a goat, play a goat.
This has got to be, oh goodness gracious, we see the Diablo coming down here, just putting all the characters down, moving characters to the library.
It's a library party.
It is. It's so quiet in there. Now, Sarah, what do you draw? Do you have anything that can pull you out of this, or is this game over? We're turning cards sideways. It is a genie. It is a genie, folks.
Now, do we have Gathering Wisdom and Knowledge in our deck? Is that potentially what we're drawing for? That would be amazing. Just go ahead and walk the top.
I will scream if we play. I will scream if we play that. But no, Sarah, not able to find it, unfortunately. This game goes to the Lords of Lore and Metallic Flare. Ivan, congratulations on your victory here in round 1. Wow, that was crazy. As I punch my table and my knuckle hurts a lot right now.
It was so good. I had a little bit of a fit, but oh my gosh, as we go ahead and Ruby Amethyst takes it against Emerald and Amethyst, which is not a typical thing that usually ends up happening. But man, these Infinity games have been close. They've been wild and also very close. Yeah, which I loved it. I love that.
I do too.
And everybody in between.
Both of these games that we had a chance to see, tons of fun. I mean, it's been this is exactly what you want to see. I love core. Let me not. I know I tend to really root for Infinity. I do love the Infinity format. I also love core. I love both formats. I love Lorcana. I wouldn't be here talking about the game if I didn't love the game. But Infinity, man, like the ability to see these cards come out, seeing Lady Tremaines, seeing Medusas, getting to see Be Prepared, seeing the Diablos. It's good to see them every once in a while. I really appreciated these games. And man, oh man, those were fun to watch. And I cannot wait to see more of these games.
I am very excited as we have, guys, that was round 1. We had the fastest deck in the West. I don't know. I mean, where does Daniele live? I don't think he lives in the West, but there's a West somewhere. If you go far enough, it becomes the West, right? Like if you go far enough, like you start to, there we go.
Yeah. Everywhere's walking distance if you got enough time,
Okay. Fair enough. And then we're gonna go on to game. Just kidding. I don't even know what I'm talking. So it's game. It's a match, or is it a set, or is it a how does this work? It's round. So round 2 is coming up next. Round 2 is coming up next. Yeah. You guys have names for it, you guys have all these TCG names for it.
Yeah, it's a round. It's a match.
It's a round. It's a match and a game and a round.
Yeah, well, I think in the ICL round and match for the night is interchangeable.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's how that works. And then games, and then games are games. I think that one stays.
And what's a match?
A match is a collection of 3 games. Potentially, it could be 2 games depending on how well you do.
Okay. I see. See, and Lou just said it could be considered the entire event, or it could be considered, the game we're about to watch. And I was like, that's why it's confusing. This is your fault, everyone. This is everybody else's
words weird, dude. Words are so weird.
Wait, is this game? Is this this is round 2?
Yeah,
all right, this is World Class Cards versus Nvrshift, and we're back. This is Gator versus Betchy. Okay, some decent players here. I would assume. I'm just kidding. I know they are. As we hear some cartoons coming in from the production back here.
Yeah, you love it. Yeah, as we see Betchy, we see Gator hanging out here, getting ready, doing the ICL famous on-camera shuffle and cut to make sure that everything is nice and square, that we're not having a stack deck or anything like that. Both players drawing up, and then we're going to find out what these players are playing. So we know that Gator cannot be playing Amber Amethyst because our friend went ahead and played that in round 1. We know that Betchy cannot be playing Emerald Steel as Mark did that. So other colors now in the chat. I'd love to see what you all think we're gonna be playing. Huge shout out to both of these teams. Loving the games so far. They're great games. I see Mark hanging out with us in the chat. Mark, great match, by the way. Valiant effort. And I just wanted to say thanks again for letting us watch that. It was great. It was a lot of fun to watch. As Betchy is drawing up, it looks like that was a full 7. If I'm not, it was either 6 or 7 cards. Not a good sign. That could be telling Gator a lot about what we might be potentially facing here, as Gator separating the hand here and showing what's up. But this is going to be crazy no matter how we break it down, as both of these players are getting ready to rock and roll. But let us know. 70 folks hanging out with us in the Twitch. Thank you all for being here. Click the buttons. If you're not already following, please follow. What are you doing? Make sure that you get up-to-date information. You know when the ICL is happening. Click that follow button. Hang out with us and let us know. Chat shouting out how crazy these matches were, and they've been insane. J-Bomb talking about the heart murmur that he got from watching this match. Oh, yeah, tell me about it. We've got our favorites hanging out in the chat. Thanks, friends, for being there with us. We love to see you in there. Both players, again, just making sure that we are doing our final sets of randomization of our deck. So, yeah, there's that. Now, it becomes crazy here. Yeah, exactly. I see people in the chat, Cobbett talking about color disappeared. Color is no longer able to be seen, and that's okay. She's here in our hearts and in a little box over there, and apparently her chair. So it's fine. Everything's gonna be good. Everything's gonna be great. All right, and I do believe that what may be happening here, we talk about this. We've got 6 different games that are running concurrently. So the judges are in the background making sure that all the tables start at the same time, that all the teams are getting exactly the amount of time that they should be getting. Shout out to our judge staff who is hanging out with us in the background doing the thing. We're going to go ahead and ink. Oh, my goodness. That is the Sea Witch, Ursula, going into the inkwell. That's kind of telling us some crazy things about what we might be seeing. Trying to stop some singing as we play a Diablo, and Gator using the underdog ability to play an Angel. It's not Cindy, but it's Angel, and it's just as good. Angel, pretty cool here.
Pretty cool indeed. As I am back, the kid aggro has been defeated for now, as we see a pull the lever into the inkwell, and we're going to play that Ursula Deceiver to get a little bit of a peek of our hand here. And hey, it's classic Amber Steel. Having 3 songs to choose from. Do you want my uninkable Zeus, my uninkable Let the Storm Rage On, or my other uninkable Let the Storm Rage On? So the Diablo is not long for this world. You might as well take the card draw off of the Let the Storm Rage On, get rid of that, or are you gonna keep the Zeus? And God, blech. You hate to see it.
It's rough. Yeah, I mean, it's rough. At this point, you're just saying, hey, look, I'm glad I got a hit. You know, you've got 2 of this card that I don't want you to have. So getting rid of 1 is not as impactful technically as getting rid of a Zeus. You might argue that getting rid of the Zeus is quote unquote better because there's only 1 of them. However, the Zeus doesn't come till later. So, you know, that's what makes this choice so hard. It's like I either don't let you do this twice, or
I'm taking the one. I was like, I'm taking the one that has draw a card stapled on it. Get that out of there. I think so, you can't have 2 of those cards. And the Zeus, probably Betsy's deck like doesn't even care about the 5 that will come from the Zeus. Like, go ahead, bolt everything. Everything on my board is quite puny. As we ink a song that we just drew off the top of our deck, because this is Steel Song, folks, to play another Angel. Yeah. Which is a Singer 3. Let's get rid of it. Let's go ahead, get active, get that Diablo out of here. I'll draw a card for my Let the Storm Rage Dodge, and then you can draw a card for your Diablo trigger. So pretty good.
Yeah, certainly. And, you know, Gator just trying to get through the deck, just seeing more of these songs. We know Ariel is incoming. Keep in mind, folks, it is Infinity Week, which means a whole new world is live today, my friends. And we are on the clock to watch. When we are on a whole new world watch, look up to the skies, find that magic carpet, and see if you can locate it. And hopefully Gator will locate it at some point during this game, because I love me a good whole new world.
I do not, as we still have more of this Amber Steel propaganda coming in from Gabe's side, but that's okay. We excuse it. We still love you, as I have lost track of whose turn it might potentially be. I'm not even sure if I saw a
I want to say it's still Betchy's. I believe Betchy is still thinking through what's going to happen. So I want to say it's Betchy's turn.
You want to say it, but did you say it?
I want to say it, but did I say it? I did not. I will never commit.
Never let him know your next move, as it could potentially be Betchy's turn. It could potentially not. I mean, he's sitting there thinking about his inking. And I think in the face of Amber Steel, Emerald Sapphire needs to think about it, because this is not a favorable matchup for our Emerald and Sapphire. Just kidding. Our Emerald and Amethyst heroes.
Yeah, Emerald Amethyst, generally not a huge fan going up against this color pairing. We see pull the lever, choosing to draw 2.
Yeah, goes ahead and you can draw 2, or you can make your opponent discard 1. And then if you have one in there later, if you get that wrong lever, some cool shenanigans will happen. But notably, most decks aren't playing both.
Yeah. Or what they'll do is they'll play like an offset. So there'll be like 4 of the levers, but like only 2 or 3 of the wrong levers. Just kind of offset it, because pull the lever is still a pretty great card, even without wrong lever, Wrong lever, pretty good too. Don't get me wrong, but you do generally have to take a turn off, as we see the aerial finding another one of these Let the Storm Rage Ons.
That's 3 in the first 10 cards of your deck. Just kidding, it's probably a little bit more than that, but we're going to go ahead and rip it off, sing it immediately, doing that damage to the Ursula to draw another card. Now, Aerial Spectacular Singer not whiffing for once in her life. Never couldn't be me. I have no trauma pent up against this deck specifically.
No, absolutely not.
No bias coming in from your casters.
I could tell you, anytime I play this color pairing, I never find a song. It's almost like I don't have 20 songs in my deck. That's crazy.
She's spectacularly singing nothing. She's spectacularly quiet. Okay,
it's acapella. It's acapella.
Yeah, pay 3 and put the top 4 cards under my deck. That's basically what I've done.
You know what? But now you can find better cards, so you kind of have to say thank you to that. Speaking of wrong lever, it's here. We found it. So wrong lever, for those of you who don't know what it does, because we played that pull the lever, we can send that thing to the bottom of the deck, and we can send our own pull the lever to the bottom of our deck. If we don't have pull the lever, though, it allows you to bounce a card back to hand.
Yeah, but now it goes under the deck, and we were talking about it, and it manifested itself. Betsy said, you know what, I am playing it. By the way, it's inkable. I don't even care. And when it comboed with that, it's perfect. Sending that Aerial Spectacular Singer to the bottom of your deck, just like you said. And now she can't be singing any whole new nothings as we ink the friends on the other side, which is actually illegal, but not really. It is inkable, but at the same time, it's not, but it's not illegal,
but it's definitely unethical. I think that's where we're at. I think just as a human being, you don't do this. But Prince Naveen, do we have we don't have the wheel, but we do have a way to deal with the character. So we are initiating a board wipe here using a very, very strong card.
I love how we're getting a little bit into like Desperation Town, as we just played a Naveen to rip off a Zeus. Along came Zeus on an Ursula Deceiver. So we're just using the cards in our hands at this point. As I think Gator's sitting at no cards in hand, but we are primed to rip that A Whole New World off the top, as Betsy does have quite a few in their hand, which probably makes sense as to why the friends on the other side went into the inkwell, because we're sitting here trying to no, we actually have cards in hand. They were just like over there as we go ahead. My God, another Along Came Zeus. Just kidding. We got the other one. Is it a wheel? It is. It's A Whole New World. And it's the Infinity promo, A Whole New World as well. Yikes.
Gator punished for sitting on that Whole New World. You got punished for it. Got arguably a little bit greedy there.
Not even a little bit greedy. The thing is like, I don't think he had a chance to play it, because Betsy dealt with the Spectacular Singer before it was able to sing the Whole New World. And that's then true. Betsy also made them double discard with the 2 sudden chills to make sure he ripped the last 2 cards out of your hand, because he was padding his hand a little bit to save it. And he had the Along Came Zeus, got it out of his hand. But then Betsy was like, blam, double. That was, I love Infinity.
Yeah, it was
Diablo, double Diablo is awful.
He should have ripped it off the Naveen, is what he should have done, unfortunately, which is where I think he got punished, which is why I say it was a little bit greedy. In that opting to use the Thunderbolt to deal with the Ursula kind of went overpowered removal there. I think what happened was Gator valued having the 2, losing potentially those 2 Zeuses, and saying, well, I don't want to lose these 2 Zeuses. I'd rather use them. And Betsy kind of came back and said, okay, bet. Go ahead and hold on to them. And held on to them for just a little bit too long there. As we see a crab and a bird, one of the world's greatest pairings here, hanging out on Betsy's side of the board.
As he inked a chip, which does say, we'll just yoink that last card in it. It is more discard. So this is that kind of discard Emerald Amethyst deck that we're seeing over here. I was forgetting what Nveen does. He's playing free songs. He's singing with his ukulele as a Aurora Holding Court comes on down, which is really good in this deck, because you can get Ariel out like a turn sooner if you do get her down on turn 1. And we're just going to go ahead and play the Peter Pan Shadow Finder along with a twin Diablo.
Yeah, listen, Diablo's cool here. Every time Gator draws, the Betchy will draw, but what Betchy is doing that Gator is not doing is taking those cards that are being drawn and just ripping them out of hand. Has done so effectively. Was able to remove a whole new world. Already one gone from this game. Now Gator, while it feels as though has been kind of on the back foot with what's been going on board state wise and hand wise, it is important to look at what's happening here on the lore count. All right, Gator is up to 15. So just slowly creeping up there. Gator is not that far away from finishing this game. Betchy trying now to be not only as good as controlling the hand, but also controlling the board, doing so as Gator is left alone with this holding court Aurora. As Gator says, well, you know what? I am winning the lore time right now. I need to keep using these characters, playing that Cinderella, potentially to sing songs in the future.
Yeah, definitely going in and trading that Diablo with the Angel there. Take a little bit of time on that decision as we go ahead and play double Diablo as we go. And we are going to go ahead and continue to trade. Like you said, we are all the way up to 16 lore. Betchy's just got to keep you off of it. And we do exactly what Betchy was seeming like he was preparing for as we have Diablo exerted as we get a whole new world off the top. Gator's going to draw 7 cards. Betchy's going to draw 7 cards. And then he has the option to draw 7 more from his Diablo triggers. Now that is a May ability, so you can draw one and then decide to draw another one. Draw one, some people just draw 7, like they just rip it off. Like, I'll draw 14 cards. What about it?
It's tough, and this is the world's worst value when it comes to this whole new world. We had to pay the full price for it. When you're playing a whole new world, the optimal way to do that is to sing it for free, have all of your ink available so that you can then take your fresh 7 cards and put as many of them as you can on the board, including one named Pete, games referee, to slow down the crawl for Betchy, but not able to do that. Gator was forced to play that thing because of the impending threat of more discard.
Betchy's going to rip it off. He's looking at them one by one, but at the same time, I think we're drawing 14 cards for the vibes. Yeah. You ripped off a full cost. You paid retail value for a whole new world and ended up, with my Diablo exerted. You know what? For the vibes, I'm drawing 14 cards.
Yeah. Betchy telling Gator, you're going to never do that again. This will be the last time you will want to do that as we play in another Aurora here, the holding court. And so, yeah, we're just trying to quest up. We're trying to just get to the 20. Gator's indicating, hey, you know what? If I get to 20, I don't care if it's pretty or not. We're getting to 20. That's what we're doing here.
I gave you 14 cards, but you do have a subsizable inkwell. But at the same time, we're not playing against steel, and we are at 17. So that Aurora is just another lore. And it's not like her 1 strength 2 willpower is scary in this situation, unless you find like muses exactly and just start singing a bunch of different tunes, singing the song of the people as an Ursula Deceiver comes down. Go ahead and take a look at that hand. I don't know. It's got a bunch of DLC promo Rapunzels in it, probably.
We do see some songs, though, but I believe we do have a couple of hits there.
It's shiny. You can't even see it, but yeah.
No,
we got 2 hits. We have the Akud and the Strength of a Raging Fire. So I get to choose one of them. You can't have the Akud. Get the Akud out. Oh, you care about the Strength? That's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, it's crazy. We do have Angel in hand as well, so Angel can be a problem here. Able to deal with that Diablo when it's able to come down. Does Betchy have a sequence of cards that just completely rips every card from the hand, though? That's actually not outside of the realm of reality here with the deck as Betchy has it built.
If I'm Gator, I'm going wide. I am singing Akud, and I am flip my entire hand on the board and saying deal with it. I think that it was very interesting that we had the Cheshire Cat comes down. That changes literally everything. Oh my god. No, that got a little interesting. That coming down, being able to boost once a turn to do 2 damage or remove damage to then put that damage onto another character, cleanly getting rid of that. And now your Cindy is turned sideways. She is exerted, so she is challenge ready.
Yeah, it's real rough here. I mean, Gator with a lot of like very, very down tempo turns. I think starting from having to play that whole new world at the full price, giving Betchy the option to just dig through 14 cards. Look at that. and flipping this board completely on its head. 6 characters now. Betchy is in here. Gator hanging out with just this lonely princess, Cinderella, waiting for Prince Charming to come by and find that shoe. Betchy just putting more characters down, or putting more cards down into the inkwell, just trying to establish the ability to climb and mount this thing and get over the 17. As we are slowly doing that, we quest to 7. And,
Interesting.
yeah.
So we're not challenging in. We're opting for the lore here. Questing now. Notably, all of these characters do have 1 lore on them. Gator being at, leaving the Cinderella to be able to potentially sing the Saku to draw a card to then get the reduction. But we are just going to go start off with the Aerial here. Looking at the top 4 of your deck and hopefully finding a song. I don't know why. I just want to flood the board and race. I don't want to do anything too crazy. Putting an uninkable Along Came Zeus into our hand. We're going to go ahead and we're going to quest to 18. And I hope you play a bunch of 1-drops.
That would be exactly what needs to happen here. But we instead opting to play the Angel. Angel will be able to deal with at least one of these characters on the board. The question becomes, who do we choose? I think the answer is pretty obvious, but we're going to give Gator the ability to make that decision. That's Gator's choice, not mine. I'm not playing the game. You are, dude. However,
yeah, I'm very interested to see what our hand was over on Gator's side that would opt us to kind of take this more ink intensive turn of only playing like 2 different things here. I think that maybe no, the Angel does not have resist because we do still have 2 cards in hand. Aerial also having that as well. So I mean, Elsa Fifth Spirit, which you got to have it in your hand. You got your whole deck in your hand. There's no way you don't have Elsa Fifth Spirit in there with enough ink to do, stuff and things. So very interesting to me, this line. Let's see how kind of it goes here. Like, I know Betchy has so many. I know Betchy has so many options that he's like, hold on, let me look through my cards. Okay, let me look.
Yeah.
And look, you know what I mean? Like, you have decision paralysis because you're like, there's so many timelines, Doctor Strange. How are we gonna get there?
Yeah, Betchy's like me when I'm hanging out at a Cheesecake Factory. Okay, I take a look at that menu, I get really upset. I don't like large menus, and Betchy's got a huge menu of options to choose from, and so there's so many play lines to think through. Gator not as fruitful, not able to do that, unfortunately. But Betchy trying to solve the mystery of how do I climb to 20. Lots of characters on board to do it. Gator able to win this game if we cannot solve the problem of this board. So Betchy is going to have to interact with Gator whether he likes it or not. The question becomes, can he? Do we have the ability to out these characters? We're going to see first some turning of some ink. We're going to reveal
and it's the Elsa Fifth
Elsa.
Spirit. We knew she was there. There's no way she's not there. Now we're just deciding which 3-cost character we want to take and use into that Elsa. We do have the Challenger Diablo. We also have the Cat, which will be able to survive the 3 crackback, and we will be able to boost that to move 2 of it over to the Aerial. Now that still won't get rid of it because we can only move the 2 damage. But if we can do anything else, like, I don't know, another Cat, or is that a Bruno? No, just another Elsa. I quit. I'm done.
Yikes.
Whoa.
Yep. Gator. Yep. Nope. That's all. That's all they wrote. We are going to game 2, folks. Gator has seen enough to know game 2 is time. And so Gator will have the opportunity now to go first into this second game. We'll have the opportunity now to try to come out strong. We know what Betchy's playing. We know what Gator is playing. And the question becomes, folks, get your predictions in here. We know that Betchy took this thing. Will Gator try to do the same thing that his partner did in round 1? We'll try to win game 2 and 3 to give this win over to World Class Cards. Or is Betchy going to say, nah, dude, you got one in game. You got one in game 1, but it's our team's turn. Never shift. Gonna shift on your face as we're gonna win this potential game 2.
Interesting way to go about it. But yeah, this deck is really interesting too, like this Emerald and Amethyst deck. I know you said you really liked it, but I think this one also emerged a little bit right before Hiram was banned, just to kind of combat that Ruby and Sapphire menace, as it were. And I think the deck does really, really well. Now into this deck specifically, Amber and Steel, it's not as good, but as we see, it has a lot of comeback mechanics and a lot of ways of kind of getting to where it needs to be. And Betchy is piloting it in that way. And unfortunately, Gator having to hard play the whole new world because Betchy was not letting them breathe is definitely some steps here back and forth. I kind of love this. It's not who found Under the Sea first. It's literally there's a million places where this game could have gone differently and to go in the other's favor. So again, You ever hear me yelling about infinity? This is why.
This is exactly the reason. This is why my hair turned white and then fell out, is specifically because of infinity, okay?
I was bald before the inception of infinity. I just knew it was coming.
I sensed it with my mind's eye, and I said, nope, I'm out. My hair's like, I'm out of here, dude. We're not doing this.
As Aurora holding court goes into an epic Aurora holding court. Now, this is interesting because you'll be able to get a spectacular singer out on the play much faster than you humanly should be allowed to do it. But we have that Diablo coming down. And we know that Aurora cannot be singing, so she's going to be questing, giving us a reduction on our next princess character, which it's the Ariel spectacular singer coming down. Hopefully not taking a tour of the first, but nope, we found it. We found the Akud. Disgusting. Disgusting.
Of course we
the
did.
deck is doing the thing.
Yeah. And a lot of people would argue that this line is probably the worst line in this deck. And if I got to say, if playing Ariel on 2 is the worst thing that you can do, okay, sign me up for all of that. Like, what are we talking about right now? I'll totally do that. You know, we have a bunch of underdogs. We've got the Angels. We've got Cinderellas in this deck. You generally want to do that first, set up your singers, get singers ready. But hey, you know what? A close second place is I play Ariel on 2. I ain't mad about that. Let's do it.
Now, this deck, Betchy does have the ability to shift the Emerald Diablo Devoted Herald onto this Amethyst one. That is why this deck is so good. It's oops, all burbs. And if he has an action and that shift Diablo, we might be able to sing a Mother Knows Best or something like that to get rid of. Just kidding. It is an Ursula Deceiver, which will be able to get rid of a song, which hopefully you got a couple more, but Betchy does get to choose. So it's going to be the Akud or the Strength of a Raging Fire. But look, oops, all Ariels. Oh my God. Oh my God. We'll just go get another one as we do go get rid of the Strength of Raging Fire because opting to keep our board alive and well.
Yeah, that's usually a working strategy. If you can keep your board nice and healthy, you keep doing the thing. We see Gator going to go ahead and take advantage of that discount one more time. We've got 2 spectacular singers on this board now. We've dug through
and
8 cards.
Found the whole new world.
There it is.
There it is. And look how pretty it is. Yeah, I actually don't own one of these because I was casting that weekend and I could not go to get one, but we have it. The Ariel is the ability to go ahead and sing the whole new world after we play a Cindy, and that is what we're doing. Get rid of that Akud and that Ariel. Ooh. And taking a tour of Betchy's hand here. Ursula, sudden chill, pull the lever, and a chip. We were going to discard your entire life, said Betchy. That is crazy. That is like 4 pieces of discard right there.
That is crazy. This is exactly what Betchy needed to deal with the whole new world. Gator ripping this entire hand out of there. These cards no longer in play and is going to have a random collection of cards from the top of the deck, 7 of them. But I don't think any 7 cards left in Betchy's deck are as good as these 5 cards. If I had to pick, I'd keep these 5 cards. And I don't know if I'd want those 7, because if I can keep ripping songs out of Gator's hand, that's where I want to be at. So Betchy's going to have to solve this puzzle. This is going to be real tough.
Interesting. Now, hey, we did solve it. We didn't have it originally, but now we do. We do go ahead and play the crab, buff up our Ursula, take out one of your Ariels is causing a problem, discarding the Bruno. Don't talk about him, as the Diablo gets shifted to that Bruno. And now we're able to draw when you draw. But listen, it's steel. That Diablo ain't sitting around for too long. But Ariel's going on a singing quest. Just kidding. She's back. She's ready.
Yeah. No, she was practicing.
And
she was
back.
Warming up the pipes. Oh, just kidding. Yep. We're singing again.
We're singing. It is a Zeus sitting in here. Look at all these enchanteds. Oh my God. This deck is beautiful. Amber Steel players. Am I right? Like, who would bling out their whole deck? Max Rarity Steer Song players need help. Look at that coming in from the chat.
They're just built different.
Gabe, thoughts?
They're just thoughts? Yeah, they're built different. My thoughts are they're built different and they're crazy. As we see more songs here dealing with these cards, and a lonely Ursula Deceiver left all by herself. No more Diablo to perch on her shoulder. As we just lay down these characters, we see Mr. Smee, the bumbling mate, and the troubadour. More singing power, more strength on the board, and just tons of questing ability here.
Look at this classic, just like all the way up to like Troubadour being the new kid on the block on this board, as we see the Cinderella Ballroom Sensations, Ariel Spectacular Singer, as you said, that's me, Bumbling Mate, and Troubadour, I don't know, Jingle Singer. I actually don't know his name, but man, he's got Resist +1, and he is a Singer 4, and he only costs 2. So just some good old-fashioned cards as we go ahead and hard play a Friends on the other side, over here on Betchy's side.
Yeah, and oh goodness gracious! So we play a friends, we ink, and we say, I believe we said go. That is not the turn you want to have against Gator with 4 characters, who then shifts the Cinderella into. Oh my gosh, look at that! And that is the beautiful DLC
Stop.
Cinderella. Things went from bad to worse. Color. This game is.
This is why I've
Yeah.
been picking on Amber Steel the entire time, you guys. It wasn't me just being angry. It's me being realistic, because this is what happens is we go ahead and just whoosh all the way again. Going at getting rid of like 3 Elsa Fist Spirits and a bunch of our cards. And I think Betchy's just going to go ahead and scoop that up. He's like, bro, I don't even care. You did the thing and I'm out of here.
Oh,
I'm out of
man.
here. You shifted the Cinderella. There's literally nothing on the face of this planet other than Mother Knows Best that'll get that rid of it. But at the same time,
Yeah.
wheeling back to back, just going ahead in a whole new world back to back like that is typically
That's a recipe for disaster, folks.
I'm gonna go ahead and lay down and take a nap.
Yeah. I'm gonna take my Metamucil and I'll see you in the morning. Okay. Holy moly!
You take it at night? That's crazy.
That's crazy. But listen, it makes for really exciting times if you wake up a little too early at night. I'll tell you what. But we see.
Take it in the morning. Are you insane? That's
yes,
wild.
I am.
I like to sleep dangerously.
Yeah. Good luck, everybody. I'm going to bed. Yes. So I mean, that was just rough. That was Gator doing exactly what Gator needed to do. Yep. Just having the lines, getting the aerials, having the aerials play early, getting an aerial on 2 that was able to survive into turn 3, which was able to sting that whole new world. That was completely unhinged, and I'm here for it.
And then he had another aerial waiting in the wings if he so choose to use it, but he was like, no, I'm not doing it. I messed up last time. I didn't rip this a whole new world as fast as I possibly could. I will not be doing that again. By the way, I'm going to do that thing that we be doing and play my whole hand and then a whole new world another time. And Betchy said, nah, please, no more.
Yeah, I give Uncle, I give, let's throw up the flag as all of both of these teams, both of these players. Oh man, we're going into a game 3, and I'm loving to see this. So Betchy will now get the chance to go first again here. Gator, if Gator gets the line that you get, it's gonna be crazy. That's all I gotta say.
He gets to go first. Like I felt the wave of pain of like, man, I hate this matchup, this Emerald Amethyst. But you know what? That's the thing, right? We saw Gator stumble. We saw them have to hard play the whole new world the first game. Then we remembered swiftly what this deck is capable of doing, even with the Akud. We haven't even played the Akud yet, you guys. We haven't even done the new broken thing. We're just doing the old broken thing. As we see a Pete go into the inkwell, and we will pass. We don't have our turn 1. We don't have our underdog. We don't have anything, as we're just going to go ahead and Ursula. There you go. How many songs do you have? The answer was yes.
Oh my goodness. What an unfortunate sequence of cards here. We will be able to light up a singer on 2. We have the Troubadour on 2. We have the Aerial on 3. Now Betchy's gonna have to try to take advantage of this, and we'll have to try to deal with the board. If we can maybe potentially bounce the Troubadour when it gets played with something like who knows, like a kit or something like that. I mean,
I don't know if I'm playing the Troubadour. Am I just inking until Naveen and just hoping I live till then? Is that this hand is absurdly uninkable?
It's
because like so if you play the Troubadour and then you might not get to play the Aerial, right? So I think you might, depending on the inkable off the top of your deck. I mean, is that a really like, okay, we got it, so we are gonna play the Troubadour. I don't know. I'd be scared. I'd be like, I'm just gonna rip uninkables off the top of my deck. I am actually fried in half. And there we go. We had another Ursula. Holy. Okay. Okay, we're getting a little low here.
The only inkable card in our hand is Aerial, and we're probably hoping to play it. This is insane.
I don't know if I'm playing it because I think I might ink it to try to get to Naveen.
I feel like if you don't, I'm scared. Because the problem is you have to trust that the next 2 cards are inkable.
That's what I'm trying to say. I don't trust my deck.
That is not the feeling you want to be at. No, I don't either. I never do. I don't care who built it. I ain't trusting you.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm the one that built it, and I'm the one that shuffled it. I can't trust you to be the card I need off the top of my deck. If this is inkable, we're back. If it's not inkable, you're about to see that Aerial go straight into the inkwell. This is going to be really crazy. Now, if we can ink the card off the top of our deck, and potentially, did we get a let the storm rage on because that's super uninkable, but it will draw us a card. Oh my god. Oh my god. What are we doing?
This is so low. Like the value here is,
Why?
yeah, this is rough.
You have to ink that Ariel. Oh, okay, we got a Rapunzel off the top, and we are going to be able to play the Ariel. Oh, I am stressed at the amount of uninkables here. But you know what?
My heart is palpitating. This is crazy.
Yeah, Gator's Death deck giveth, and as we go ahead and we find another uninkable off the top of our deck, but it does draw a card, so it kind of replaces itself. So we're kind of good if we can go ahead. What is this? Betchy with the third Ursula Deceiver to go ahead and rip the second A Whole New World with the other Along Came Zeus. Oh my god.
This is terrible. This is exactly what Betchy...
With a forward, Betchy, shuffle your deck!
Oh, we got 4 Ursulas. What is happening? This is crazy. There's just no way. Gator with the worst potential sequence of cards that could have came off the top of that deck. Betchy with all 4 Ursula Deceivers. You don't win this game. I'm sorry, you just don't win this game. That is crazy.
Bruh.
You just don't win this game. Like, that's it. Like, this is just not, this was not, you can't even be mad at it. It just wasn't meant for you.
I am shuffling y'all's deck for the next forever. If you are playing Emerald, I swear to God, I'm shuffling your deck myself before the game. But we do find another uninkable off the top. We're good to go. So we'll be able to play this Naveen and rip off this Let the Storm Rage On, potentially going in, getting rid of your Diablo. I'm tilted off the face of this planet, you guys.
This is crazy.
Tilted.
The cringe is so bad that like the wrinkle in my forehead is like all the way in the back of my head. It's crazy. My goodness.
But she's like, I don't know. What if I just like Ursula quest to the end? Yeah, sure, whatever, man. Friggin' play a Delta's 5th Sphere and turn everything sideways. I'm actually having a stroke right now. I'm having a stroke.
Betchy finding that Ursula represents removing the largest potential singer on the board. We still have the Ariel though. Gator can still get very fortunate here, potentially draw something that could save Gator. The question becomes, can we? Choosing to challenge and play the Rapunzel to try to draw some things, dealing with one of the Ursulas. So we're down to, it's not too late. We might still be able to recover from this if we can draw something good.
We need to be able to play.
Yeah.
We challenge him with the Troubadour, and then we challenge him with the Ariel, playing the Rapunzel, drawing one card, and immediately having to ink it.
Cheshire Cat coming in, making the math even easier to deal with that Ariel. Sending the damage over. Gonna go ahead. Yeah, you have to, right? Like, you just get the singers off the board, you clear off the singers, you keep control of the singers, you win the game. That's the name of the game here. And you went ahead and you took 3, I believe, what was it, 2 or 3 whole new worlds out of the game. So you having to find.
I will say it was 2. Yeah. It was 2 whole new worlds, and I believe the Strength of Raging Fire the one of the Along Came Zeus's, because he did sing the other Along Came Zeus. So I don't think it matters that you're drawing cards, because, by the way, there's no songs in your deck because they're all in the discard. So I don't know. Pete's Games referee is probably fine.
I mean, it's okay if we can't sudden chill, or we can't play Bruno here, but we do have a Crab. Crab is cool, but not really powerful right now. Right now it's just a character to put on the board, because there are no characters that are exerted to challenge into. But hey, you know what? A 3/3 that I can use for later, not too bad. We do have the Cheshire Cat, so we can go ahead and clean off some of this damage, or I should say, no, it looks like we opted not to, and we're going to go ahead. Okay, so we did move some of this damage off of the Elsa, questing all the way up to 9. So Betchy's slowly climbing the mountain here, getting to that magic number 20, as Gator is just hoping upon hope to find something here to try to figure out, as we find the whole new world. And go ahead and start ourselves off with 7 fresh cards. But will these 7 cards benefit Gator, or will they benefit Betchy? So it is better to be lucky than good here, as we're going to sing that Zeus. We're going to challenge into the okay, so we may be able to turn this around. Gator is saying this may be the turnaround here. This whole new world may have done it.
Now, did we have to hard play the whole new world?
We did, because we were hoping
but we just found a Nakud.
Yeah.
So if we found a 2 cost, we can go ahead and throw that out. So we do get a reduction off of our next character. That's a pretty good one. Oh, and we find a Cindy.
Okay.
We are back. Sing another one. What is wrong with me? Why do I want it so bad? As we Strength of Raging Fire onto that Elsa 5th Spirit, getting rid of that. This board is looking quite a bit different now. Gator doing stuff and things as we ink another song, I do believe.
Gator might have turned this thing around. That was opting, or not opting, not having to choose. It was a force because we didn't have a 5-cost singer. We had to play that whole new world at the full retail price, but we were fortunate enough to draw into songs that the characters could play. We were able to get some value from that hand, play multiple cards from that hand, which is what you want to do. You want to be able to get value from the 7 cards you get, and Gator was able to do that. Betchy now down 2 characters. Can Betchy recover, restabilize, and take back this game, or did Gator solve the problem, and will Gator be able to climb above the 9 and get to that 20 and win this whole thing? We're going to find out.
Yeah, now the Rapunzel is the only thing that's pretty big onto the board, but we do have a crab. So if you have a fox in hand, you'll be able to bounce that crab back into your hand, buff up the fox, and cleanly take out the Rapunzel. Now, that doesn't really leave us anything. We could challenge into the Truby Tuesday over there, but he does have resist, so crab won't do it, and we would have to trade in. There's a few things that we can do to get stuff off the board. Now, we do, like you said, have 7 fresh new cards. I don't know how many Elsa Fifth Spirits we've seen, just probably the one that was last game where we saw all 4. So we've got some options here, and we are jangling around the crab to see where he's going.
Yeah. Yes, different ways we can go about this. The crab, of course, able to take out the Pete if it needed to, but that would be at the cost of the crab also being banished here. Betchy thinking through it, though. Make sure you make the right plays. Think through your hand. You got a fresh new hand, a whole new world indeed is why we call it that, because you got to look at everything over again and reestablish what you need to do. So make the right play here, Betchy. We see an ink choice. It's hard to see, though, that it was so
shiny.
Yeah,
it's so. I think that card has a quest for me. Look at that. Look how shiny that is. As we are going to go ahead and trade our crab into the Pete, taking it out. But on banishment, we will be able to buff up the Ursula +3, which can then go ahead and just kind of dink into the Rapunzel. So we're probably just going to go ahead and just get another crab. Now we will cleanly take out that Rapunzel that has 2 lore now. But that's what it takes to take out a Rapunzel, man. She's got a lot of willpower on her, as we do see the Diablo coming down for fun. Just a little Diablo as a treat.
Yeah, for fun. You're not kidding. It is a lot of fun to draw a lot of cards. I'll tell you what, that will be a lot of fun if that Diablo can survive this turn. We've got plenty of singers to boot.
Immediately
like this one.
But it's
for a Akud. It's for a Akud. Okay, folks.
And Betchy's PTSD grabs Diablo immediately and goes, it's an Akud, which is just as bad. As we go ahead and exert and play an Aerial Sonic Warrior for the reduction of 2. There are 5 costs. So if we have another song, we can just start go pew pew. Yes. Please have another song. Yes. What's wrong with me?
Huge.
Oh my gosh.
This aerial is huge here because we can start slinging damage, and we do so choosing to get rid of 2 characters with the 1 song. So this aerial, the Sonic Warrior, coming in big time. Gator locking this board down, and Betchy on the back foot. Gator needs to start climbing the mountain, needs to start questing, needs to get to there, but can do so if we can keep Betchy at bay, and doing a great job so far.
Crazy thing is we were able to sing the Akud to give us the reduction of the 2, which gave us the 2 leftover ink to then be able to trigger and pay for her effect to start pew-pewing and doing that damage everywhere. And we just happened to draw the song that I guess we had just more. Hey, oops, all songs, right? Amber Steel song. I hate it here. But at the same time, there was something in that I loved. Like the perfect use of ink, having it, never not having it. I don't know. Ugh.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah. We are going to pull that lever. The question becomes, are we drawing or are we discarding? It looks like we're discarding, and we're discarding Keep the Ancient Ways, Gator says. Gator says, I ain't worried about you playing actions and items. That's the least of my problems right now. Right now, I need to win this game. And the way I'm going to do that is by keeping you with no cards on the board, choosing to play it again, and getting Gator to empty the hand. And that was it's hard to see.
It's an angel, I believe. I could see a little snowball off to the corner. So that is that experiment 624, as we were valuing that ability to continuously do damage. But now we know the Gator's deck probably has approximately 4 songs left in it. There's no freaking way he has any more songs. But now Betchy, I'm not sure how many. Betchy has like about 3 cards in hand, as we can't just start exerting all of his stuff and playing everything off the top of our deck, because Aerial Sonic Warrior is real difficult to get rid of. And I've already seen, I think, these 2 to 3 crabs for on Betchy's side, which would make that Ursula a little bit more challenge ready. Friends on the inside.
Friends here drawing some cards. Gator with a very, very strong board that Ursula will not be able to deal with anything right now. In fact, if it deals with anything, it deals itself away out of this game and gets banished. As Betchy is trying to solve for it, we do find a
Snow Fort is something. Yo,
Snow
Snow Fort is sick. It does give it +1 strength. That way it does take out that Ariel, or just kidding, that's a Cinderella, and that'll get rid of any shift target. We are going to go ahead and play down a Diablo, but Gator has no cards in hand, so you don't get to look at anything. But notably, everything on Betchy's side has resist during Gator's turn, so that makes steal a little worse. Just kidding, we're in a whole new world. So
as we rip it, and we will be able to use the ability after the drawing of these 7 cards for that Sonic Warrior. And
resist
like,
though.
Oh,
Resist.
that's true. Resist is a thing we have to worry about.
It doesn't really help because Ariel does quite a bit. Yeah, she does quite a bit of damage, and everything on Betchy's board, especially that Diablo. No shifting, no Diablos, and we are going to go for a quest with this princess to give us a reduction on our next princess, which could be very egregious because this deck is doing things, and it's just the Cinderella Stout-Hearted. Who,
folks,
by the way, has 3 lore. She's got resist. I don't know. It's like 2. Is resist 2, 3, 7? It doesn't matter. But also, she has the ability to challenge ready characters when you sing a song. Did you guys forget about that? Because I forgot about that.
Can we please talk about the fact that Gator just went from having you couldn't have pulled the worst 7 cards. Okay, that's a lie. Maybe 2 of those cards were fine, but that opening hand was atrocious. Betchy punishing Gator for it, and still able to find the whole new world and completely turning this game around. Gator not that far off from being in the beatdown role, going to go ahead and start questing real crazy here, as poor Betchy and this Ursula and this Snow Fort just by themselves hanging tight. This is a crazy game. I'm glad to have been here to see it. And this as okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, and we are going to go ahead and shift that Ursula, the big old Ursula, not the set champs one. So points lost on Betchy's side. But when she is exerted, you cannot, your character can't sing songs.
Correct.
Just straight period. But you know what? She is going to go ahead and challenge. We found another crab. That's insane. Plus the Snow Fort gets rid of that aerial Sonic Warrior. That's a lot of strength on the board. That's insane, but that's what it took to get rid of that card specifically. But they didn't get rid of that Cindy over there. But you know what's really crazy? You can't exert to sing songs until this Ursula is off the board. But we don't care. We're going on a quest immediately to give us a reduction on this Ariel, which she's going to go get us a song, which we will have to hard play unless we throw. I don't know. We could just throw the Cinderella right in there. Just bonk, or
we can sing the strength.
We could hard play it, and then we could take the rest of our ink and then pew pew. Now that does still have a resist, but the thing with this is, this is a very interesting turn because we could actually use the Cinderella to get rid of the crab right now.
Yeah, Gator is thinking through this, trying to find what is the best use of the turn here. How much value can you extract from these cards, from this ink, from these cards? We see that strength being played for its full retail price that will be able to deal with this Ursula, the Sea Witch Queen, gone away back to the sea from whence she came. And now we've got all these characters just hanging out, looking at this crab, looking at the Snow Fort. Gator in a pretty demanding position as we lay out all these characters.
And he does go ahead and use the Cindy to go ahead and challenge into that readied crab, getting it off the board. And I thought she has resist +2. Is it just resist +1? The Snow Fort. God, Snow Fort is a menace. But just kidding. We had 3 1-drops to go ahead and play out and have a princess party. Look at that. Look at all those princesses on the board. My goodness. And Betchy's like, I got a Snow Fort.
Yeah, Snow Fort is cool, but you need characters for it to be really cool. As we see, we don't talk about Bruno finally able to deal and relieve Cinderella of her duty, sending her back to the hand. Going to go ahead and discard a random card from hand.
A random card, but if it's not Cinderella, you could literally shift onto the Ballroom Sensation. So we're really hoping we hit this Cinderella. Come on, Betchy.
Do we hit?
Come on, Betchy.
Is it a hit,
the Cinderella. Folks. Get that sucker out of here. Please don't let me shift on you immediately.
All right, and we're going to reveal
is
it.
We got
Cindy!
it.
Get out of here, Cindy.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Unless it's just like, oops, all Cindy's in his hand, in which case we're going to shift and quest for 3 Lorna turn. But it's fine. This is nasty. Look at this reduction. We could do 1, 2, 3. He literally has a 3 cost reduction on whatever princess character he might have in his hand. which would be
As
hilarious
we-
if it's another Cindy. It's a
No,
Pete.
it's a Pete. It's a Pete. It's a Pete.
He
Calm
could be a
down.
princess.
Color,
He
calm
could
down.
be.
It's a Pete, dude. Relax,
What?
okay?
It's an angel. And it's a strength of a raging fire coming on in and getting
Oh.
rid of that cat. Do you think that was enough damage? And Betty says, bro, you're good.
Nah.
Bro, I'm out. I quit. As
Yikes,
we've given up the guns, Gator getting game 3 here in the ICL
Yeah.
in round 2. My goodness, I'm exhausted. That is
Wow.
crazy. Imagine
That
having
is-
to play that game. You guys are
that would- yeah.
wild.
That is
Wild.
now two rounds, 2 matches where we saw world-class cards lose in game 1 and then come back and circle around and win 2 and 3 to secure that. That was intense gameplay. It was crazy to watch. The swings were swingy, and it
Love
was
it.
just insane. And I'm so glad to be here for it. It was so much fun to watch. And yeah, the crowd goes wild watching this. Nuts, dude. Completely
Imagine-
nuts.
Imagine having 4 Ursula Deceivers in your opening hand, or at least like the top, 15 cards of your deck against Amber Steel, and still getting rocked. Amber Steel is
Yeah.
so strong. It is so
is.
strong. And with all those princesses and the princess reduction and princess friends of princesses and Pete's, and oh my goodness.
Dude,
Oh my
it was
gosh.
crazy. I was convinced that there was no way that world class cards was going to be able to come out from underneath this thing, and then I was proven wrong, and I love it. I'm so happy. I love getting proved wrong. I think it's one of the coolest things in the world, so I don't mind it.
Yeah,
But man, that
I
nuts.
was definitely in there, and I was like, I can't stand Amber Steel. Look at this, a whole new world into this mess and mess. And by
Yeah.
the end of it, I was like, I, for one, welcome our Amber Steel overlords. Just turncoat right at the end there. I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? Pop off.
You know
win.
what though? I think what it is too. It's look. I love the good. I love stories. That's why I love Lorcana, and I love heroes. But you know what makes a really good hero is the better villains. So you need a good villain in Amber Steel. It has to be a good villain if you want the best heroes and the character to shine. So
I don't think
thank
that Amber
you
Steel's the
to our
villain,
villains.
actually. But we're going to find out here as we
Wow.
have Dylan from SLTC against Rick from Mad Hatter. We're all playing in the same direction as we
Yeah, we love to see
ink
it.
and play as Cindy on turn 1. All right, I'm back to hating it. All right. All
As
right.
we see, which I gotta say, shout out to Stitch with the with the hat. Like I think that is such a cool art. Whoever did that, that was pretty funny. As there's a immense amount of glare.
Mystery card. Yeah, the mystery card.
Yeah. So we do see Dylan is rocking a Cinderella. So I have to imagine that is a first sign that we're going to see some steel.
Oh,
A Cood coming in here. So we're going to be playing something good for 4. Now it could be. Okay, so yeah, so we're still seeing Amber. Now I will say that, having played a bit of Infinity myself, I'm getting ready for DLC Indianapolis. When I see a Cinderella and a Cood, there's about a 50% chance that it's either going to be another Amber card like Ariel, or it could be the Muses. So it could be Amber Emerald. I haven't seen anything indicating an alternate color yet.
Ain't no way. It is
Just
a
kidding.
steel
It's
bumbling
steel.
mate
Come
into
on,
their.
guys. Come on.
We're going wide. By the way, this is turn 2. Everybody, look at the board right now. We have a Rhino into a Cindy into a Ariel. It's turn 2, and we've already gotten up to a sizable board as Rick had to ink and pass in their first turn.
I don't see the problem. Seems totally fair to me. 3 characters with 2 ink, with 3, 4, 5 costs worth of characters on 2 ink seems fair. I don't see the problem with that.
Oh yeah, and you already sang a song, so yeah, it's fine. And you've already and you drew a card from the Akud, so it's like, why not? Oh, it is Pete. So I think we are doing we have to, because that's a dual ink Pete there. So we are an Emerald Steel against Amber Steel, as we are going to play the Ursula Deceiver coming in and looking at all 3 songs in our hands.
Wow. Wow. And we can play all of them. Well, we can play at least 2 of them next turn. So you better have some other ways to deal with this, because you are going to be sung to, whether you like to or not, Rick. You are about to be sung to. I hope you like songs.
Yep. The songs of Dylan's people will be coming up next. Now, we do know that Let the Storm Rage On will draw us a card, gets a little bit deeper into the deck. So probably start there, unless we drew something egregious, which what could be worse than that? Go ahead, putting the 2 damage on there preemptively because Rick knows it's coming. We all know it's coming. And what card did we draw off of our Let the Storm Rage On?
Another song.
It's a whole new world, because why wouldn't it be?
Oh no! And revealing that we had a second whole new world in hand. So yeah, that's always a rough spot to be in. But that whole new world getting ripped at that turn 3 here We still have the ability to ink. We haven't used any of those inks. And boy,
look how
did I just do 3?
uninkable. Oh my God. I was
What?
going to say, look how uninkable. That was 3
Whoa.
Prince Johns into that discard. My goodness, that hand was super uninkable. You probably wanted to keep literally any of those.
Oh man, oh man. Although I will say a sudden chill with Prince John doesn't feel horrible until you get 3 of them. But we are going to go ahead and shift that Rhino. And
Why not?
yeah, exactly. Not only why not, but keep in mind this also means we now have a 4-cost singer here. So we've got all the singers that we could possibly want, and there is a Ursula with 1 willpower left staring at us on Rick's side of the board. Not where Rick wants to be, as Dylan is just taking advantage of this whole new world.
Absolutely. Yep, that Rhino coming in, being able to just quest immediately for 2 lore instead. And by the way, it has a resist +2 and it has no damage on it. It's a little bit of a power hamster, if you will. And Dylan's like, yeah, look, I got 3 ink and I've done the most game actions. So we're going to go ahead and ink a card.
Yeah.
And hopefully do something cool with the 7 new cards in our hands, right? Right?
You would think so. You would think so. But Dylan was doing cool things with like 3 cards in hand and then got 7 cards for the 3 cool things in hand. And Rick is playing a relatively fair game here, is trying to solve for this, but Dylan just so far ahead on board state, so far ahead with game actions, so far ahead with just taking advantage of everything given to him. And Rick just trying your best and losing 3 Prince Johns and a sudden chill and a max goof and all that. Is we see Rick now deciding what do we do?
Hand of strength of root, yeah. He's like, what am I playing? I guess I'll just play this Diablo or whatever and exert all 3 ink for it because now it costs 3.
Oh, yikes.
Nothing is real and the points don't matter. As we do see that we do have the Arrow Sonic Warrior in there. And just kidding, we are going to go ahead and play a morph, and that is all 3 of our ink. I think we see it's you know what? There's a world. In a world, we could shift some stuff onto that morph and pretend like Steel cannot deal with a 2/1 character very handily. There is a world.
There. Yes, you're not wrong to say that there is in fact a world, but that world also includes one in which we can ink a card and shift onto that aerial and just be a complete menace to the Lorcana society here, being able to just deal with these characters and sing that Zeus, and then just be a complete menace and do whatever needs to be done to just enact pain and torture to Rick. Poor Rick.
What's the over under on him running grab your sword?
Oh, why are you evil? Like,
what?
Why would you wish such an evil thing right now?
It's not. We're going to see an angel going into the inkwell to go ahead and shift the aerial Sonic Warrior. And if we have a song, it's pretty much, the ability to just... We can't actually use our ability because you do have to pay for it. So that is one thing going on in Rick's favor. Now, we got to get rid of this morph, though. Morph presents problems. Yeah. That is what morph is. He is a universal shift target. We know that this deck runs Beast, Tragic Hero. It runs Diablo, Devoted Herald, and that Pete that we saw in the inkwell earlier is also a Floodborn character. And we're just going to slowly exert this to Zeus. We're going to do 5 damage to that 1 willpower buddy over there. Morph is gone.
Yeah, the space goo has been eviscerated, has been desiccated, just out of this world here.
Vanished.
Go ahead. Yeah, desiccated. You know what desiccated means? Because it's the space goo, and so he dried up. Desiccated just means to be dried up. That's all.
Space jerky. All right, as we go ahead and go on a huge quest here from Dylan, getting us all the way up to a whopping 4.
Yeah.
Heat Games referee is going to come down and stop a little bit of the shenanigans as we do go ahead and shift our Diablo Devoted Herald, discarding our Strength of Raging Fire to that shift cost. And now we have a morph into the discard. Will we be able to do anything? Questing is where we're going to start for sure.
Yeah, I mean, questing is absolutely a thing you got to do. In fact, you got to do it at least a number of times equal to 20 lore in order to win this game. So you got to do that at least sometimes. This board, though, Dylan's board is a serious problem and getting worse, getting more out of hand as we see the Carefree Snowboarder. Beautiful art, great card from Winterspell, and just going on a quest with lots of characters that are very, very strong and very, very healthy.
Willpowery here, as we do see that the snowboarder does have 5 willpower on it. And when it quests, you will be able to draw a card if you have 2 other characters on the board. And Dylan does seem to have at least 2 more characters besides the Surfer Stitch on the board. So if we, in a world where we get rid of the Sonic Warrior and the Rhino and the Cinderella, you won't be able to trigger that Stitch. How about that?
Y'all are crazy, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it, every single bit of it.
Listen. Now, we were able to draw an extra card off of our Diablo when you drew for turn, so that did get us a little bit deeper into the deck as we put a Muses into the discard. And we're just going to kind of repeat with the second Pete here. You cannot sing songs, you cannot pass go, and you can't do the one thing that your deck wants to do. So now if we just continue to play Pete's, thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, that is certainly one way to slow this down. Dylan, though, you still got some pretty strong characters that you're not really that afraid to quest into the face of this board here. Force Rick into a situation.
Drawing for Diablo triggers, because we are doing some Stitch things, which did give Rick cards for Dylan's draw from the Diablo. So, I draw when you draw, and then I draw for fun. I was like, he only draws 1 card. Yeah, it's just 1 card from the Stitch Snowboarder. And he's like, I haven't done anything else. I drew for turn. Stitch Snowboarder draws 1 card.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're just making sure. Yeah, they're confirming that the math is mapping.
And he's like, just anyway, here's Pete. You know?
By the way, no actions.
Yeah.
Well, you figure that out. No actions. Gonna go ahead and send these characters on a quest again. These characters do not care if you send it. They are very honey badger like. They just do not care about anything. They're gonna let you go ahead. You want to challenge these? Go ahead and do that, because I'm so far ahead on my clock. And in fact, in case you didn't hear me the first time, Pete again.
I said Pete, but Pete does have 1 lore on it, and Dylan is at 16, going ahead and flooding the board, saying no actions. So even if you can deal with this board, you can't do anything about those Petes sitting across from you. And you know what? There is a honey badger in Disney. Did you know that?
There is? Yes.
Yeah. It's a honey badger. It's on the cartoon on Disney Plus, the one with Simba, his kids, the Lion Guard. The Lion Guard. As we shift the Pete, Pirate Pete, going in and saying, hey, I'm a pirate.
That is, in fact, a space pirate. Yeah, a pirate in the air. You got to love it. But is this enough? I don't think so. We've got to solve for the mystery of 4 lore not hitting the lore count here. And Rick kind of doing the math and thinking through what's left and what can be done. Being able to send that Pete onto the table, shifting onto your Pete is one thing. But getting the amount of characters you need
we're just gonna
to
win the game.
Is not. And we win the game. Dylan wins. SLTC, huge shout out for your victory here in round 2. Rick and the Mad Hatters, valiant effort. Appreciate all these teams for really putting it out there and trying their best.
All right. That was another bonus game. It's J-Bomb. Whoa.
Hello.
Just a surprise J-Bomb. Look at that.
Pop.
That's not your that cannot be your catchphrase, but it could. I honestly, with J-Bomb,
that was a
it
choice.
Could be anything. But you know what, J-Bomb, I think you're like, are you like, can you really be in here casting for world class? This is a little bit of a biased situation.
I asked, and I was told I could. But man,
you said I could.
Those were
he doesn't know the deck
matches.
lists. He doesn't have any access. It's fine. Plus,
he's never seen these players before in his entire life.
Watching the Lords of Lore in this next round, since World Class Cards won their first one, and the audience can hear me right now.
They can.
They can.
I never
picked
know.
This
I never
match
know.
on purpose, so I hope everyone enjoys.
Okay. Ooh, I like the sound of that, guys. And Wonder never lets me down.
Yes, I will say Luke's been really good with choosing the right ones. At least today too. I mean, shout out to Luke, giving us some crazy matches. I don't know how much you've been able to see, J-Bomb, but
I've watched it all.
Okay,
and let me tell you, Nvrshift, I need some heart medicine after those first 2 matches, because those were some of that game 3 of match 2 was one of the craziest games I've ever seen, man. The four Ursulas, and then oh gosh, I was like, there's no chance, and
you don't win.
Gator,
you don't win.
Gator just kept saying like, I ain't done yet. I didn't hear no bell, and I was just like, wow. Like I countered him out way earlier than I should have, I guess.
Yeah, you and me both. I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
You
never give
and
up,
me
never
both.
surrender. Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, okay, all right. And then he just kept ripping gas. And I was like, okay, well, now this is why I've been upset about this. But I don't know. So you guys are going to be going into round 3, and it's going to be a special round 3. That's kind of exciting. Kind of
Yeah.
exciting. Not that exciting. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But does that mean I'm going? Luke, tell me. Production, is that you? How much time do we have left in the round?
Okay.
Ooh.
We're vibing. We're vibing. Also,
Yeah.
it feels like a weird, like buzzy sound. I don't know if everybody here. That is what J-Bomb looks like when he vibes, you guys. All right. So, J-Bomb, can I ask you, did you know that there was a honey badger in Disney canon?
I did not. I'm not surprised. Big fan of the animal.
fan.
But
Yeah.
where's it from?
It is from the Lion Guard on
Oh
Disney
yeah,
Plus.
I just heard you talk about this a couple minutes ago.
I was really excited. I was really excited about it because he's like, it's like much like the honey badger. I'm like, well, hold on. Actually, that's a whole other situation we could totally get into. And I think I would like a honey badger Disney Lorcana card.
I would. I love honey badger. I'd love
'Cause
to
you could
get
just-
care.
honey badgers. They
Yeah,
just don't
as I say,
care.
you could play it and be like, here you go.
I think-
What's his
I
name?
think it
His
should
name's
just-
Bunga or oh man.
It should
He's
just
a
be a
little-
012.
Okay.
Yeah, because and it has resist too because they're like immune to like was it poisons and stuff. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a 012. Deal with that.
Yeah, just,
yeah,
just hanging out, just like, okay, we're here. You do whatever you. I'm gonna keep questing. You're gonna attack me. You got to do like at least 4 challenges before you can deal with this thing. It's gonna be crazy.
oh, his name is Bunga. That is, he is a honey badger in the Lion
Bunga,
Guard.
bunga.
Okay,
That's
I'm a fan.
awesome.
I'm already a fan. I need to go back and rewatch it. I
He was
forgot the
raised
name.
by Timon and Pumbaa, by the way. So
Wow.
he's Simba's adopted brother.
Oh, that is so cool. Oh, wait, so he's been eating bugs too? That's crazy.
Yeah, he does. He does like bugs. He
Okay,
likes to
cool.
hunt for them.
Okay, which makes sense. I mean, honey badgers. I think that's the thing that they do. I think they hunt for things. That makes sense.
Mhm.
As people in the chat are saying, it needs resist 4 and lures for 3.
Yeah.
Okay, can we talk about the cost of this thing? Like,
That's
we're
gotta
throwing
be
out
like an 8
stats.
cost then.
Yeah, it's got to be like an
I mean,
8 or
he's
9 cost,
probably
like
he's
a
got to
minus
be
1
uninkable.
most
He's
of the
got to
time.
be uninkable for sure. Bunga
Oh, yeah,
definitely
it's
has
got-
to be uninkable. But
He
at
doesn't
most,
care if you
he's
want to
a
hate them.
6. Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. You can't. It's fine. He can't even go into the inkwell. He's resistant to it. So then, yeah, and he's a 6 cost uninkable. I don't know, 012. And he
That'd be
quests for. I think he only quests for 2 because he doesn't care. Maybe 1.
It can
Maybe
even
one.
be like -1 for like
Yeah.
for I don't know, for like every character in your opponent's discard pile or something. Who knows? It could be something like that too.
Deal with this 12 cost uninkable rush reckless cannot take damage reduce cost by 1 for each lore you have ruby quest for 5 and ward.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
Totally
we
fair.
did it. That is what a honey badger stats would be in Disney Lorcana. So
All right.
so
Well,
all right guys, I gotta go, but you know what, I will be on the game dev main stage tomorrow in the Disney Lorcana official Discord, which I've now learned thanks to Rochelle is discord.gg/Disney Lorcana. So come join that and I'll pitch my Bunga idea. I'll be like, we all came up with it last night on the ICL game devs. You got to get on that. We need a honey badger, but
Yep.
I'll be there 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Discord. Follow me on literally everything. You got this, guys. Bye.
Later,
That'll be
friend.
awesome.
I know I can't wait to watch. It's gonna be a lot of fun
Oh
to watch.
boy. I
Oh.
see it in the top left there. We got my boy Rascal, who always plays the spice. And if he's on Emerald Ruby again, I don't want to spoil it for his opponent, but I hope he's on it, Gabe. Because that last
Okay.
match where he played it was insane.
Yeah, it was nuts, dude. You know what my favorite thing is? Every time I cast a Rascal match, is he then DMs me afterwards. He goes, "So what'd you think?" And I'm like, "You're crazy." That's what I think. I think you're crazy,
Well,
but I love it. I'm here for it.
it's funny you say that because after my match last week that he casted, I messaged him and I said, "How'd I do?"
Yeah, it's
So
it's
he's
like
got the same style.
it's so funny. It's so funny. Like I'll be walking around. I just get a random DM from him, and I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be good. I can't wait." It's either a deck list that I'm excited to see, or it's like, "So what'd you think?" Now
Yeah.
both players here. To your point, Rascal, known for playing the spice. Love to see it. I'm always excited to see Rascal here. From Nashcana, we've got Bell Swordsman, Samuel, We're gonna learn a little bit more about this player as well as we get the chance to see this this altar rather. So we are going to come to learn more about both of these players. But get your channel points ready to go, folks. If you haven't already done so, lock them in. Make sure you get that locked away as these players are finalizing. And we are gonna go ahead and Sapphire, the big bad. We're going to ink a Tipo to play a Popsicle.
Yeah, and I haven't seen a Sapphire deck yet today, and so I think it is good. We should give everybody a treat and let everyone see it. And we are going to see the Webby shift into a Webby. So, Gabe, I think Rascal is on it.
What a monster. You think he's going to do it? He's going to do it. I'm excited.
I mean, it still could be Amethyst, but either one I'm going to be happy with, but I prefer Ruby.
yeah. I won't be mad. I will not be mad here. Now, we've got Samuel, who's initiated a Tipo for turn 1 ink, which usually is a good sign that we're going to see some variation of ramp coming up here. If not, I'd be very surprised and have a lot of questions for Samuel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to see choosing. It looked like it was potentially an action. Yep. So we're choosing to send the Great Stone Dragon. Okay, so we opted to play Sapphire Coil on 2.
Interesting. We did not ramp here and chose to play the Coil, as you said, over the Tipo. That is interesting. I'd love to see the hand and see what's made up that decision. He could be doing it in preparation of the Webby, but now that Webby is just going to get a lot of lore before Samuel can answer it. So a very interesting play, and I'd love to kind of pick his brain and see why he chose that after the game, if possible.
Yeah, that would be interesting. As we ink a Sail of the Azurite Sea here, that might be exactly it.
I think we're playing in the Sail.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. My apologies. Yeah, so playing the Sail. Okay, so there you go. So we are playing the Sail. I mean, maybe Samuel must know something, or to your point, could be playing for that Webby. Maybe doesn't want to give that much value, as we might be expecting to see some potentially a character being played here. We are playing Ruby, so it is Ruby Sapphire here.
Yeah, and we are getting, it is just all items, as they say so far. We've seen a Tipo, a Sail, and literally all items. And unfortunately, that Webby, very strong against all these items right now. But once we get to the Sisu turn, that Webby will no longer see the light of day. And we are, in fact, on Ruby Emerald for Rascal, the only madman willing to do it here. And now he plays the Diablo and gets his lore, his ink and lore from Webby.
Yeah. Why not both? You know, J-Bomb, why not both? And so, so ultimately, not getting advantage of that a turn earlier, but taking advantage of it now. That Webby is going kind of wild here. So we're all the way up to 4. That Webby. But hey, 5 ink does equal Maui, hero to all. That will very, very cleanly deal with that Webby, and it will only take 2 damage from that. And strong threat. Problem though, that evasive character, that Diablo, can certainly get Rascal into the game. Evasive is a word that matters a lot here. So we'll find out a little bit more as we go into this next turn.
Yeah, he'll likely get a couple draws off of this Diablo as we get to the big Sisu turn, assuming there isn't a small Sisu that can just go in line with the Coil. But this Prince John Diablo combo is going to come and start allowing Rascal to deplete Samuel's resources here. And without a workshop on the board, that's going to be quite devastating. And he's got Sudden Chill, which we saw similarly in game 1 of the last match, the double chill, just depleting the resources. And then there is that Diablo answer that we have to see go to the discard. And so Rascal went from a precarious predicament to having all the right plays here, and now drawing off the Diablo and having quite a few resources still.
This is crazy. Yeah, and you know, still we're talking about a color pairing that can draw a bunch if it can get the right cards lined up. If it can get that workshop online, could be a problem. We are going to go ahead and it looks like we're going to pay the fair price of that Scrooge McDuck. Unfortunately, 1 item shy of getting to use the ability. However, we're trying to find stuff. We're trying to get out from underneath what is happening on Rascal's side. This just complete devastation of the hand. We see Ink Runner as well, and I think Sam is just trying to get to a point where he cannot be punished for holding on to cards anymore.
Yeah, and this is the situation that Ruby Sapphire does not like to be in, where they're just low on resources and they're not at that 7 or 8 ink where they can just pull a Be Prepared or a big Sisu off the top and just clear the Emerald player's board. And so I'm treating Rascal almost as if it's Emerald Steel in this situation for what we're talking about here, but as it is playing similarly. So we'll see if Rascal can recover from that actually quite strong turn from Samuel taking out the Diablo because of the Ink Runner.
Yeah, Ink Runner extremely strong here. Very, very great card. And that Maui, now having dealt with 2 characters, turning that thing effectively into a 3-for-1. We do see that Ursula coming down. Do we find something?
I believe it was a small Sisu, and I want to say an Ink Runner.
Okay, yeah. As we then go ahead and play the Dale, and saying, well, since I couldn't find a song, you're gonna discard a card anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and take advantage of this discard and drawing a card for our friend Prince John. And I say friend very loosely because many people would not consider Prince John to be a friend.
My arch nemesis, in fact. And Samuel decides to discard the Sisu, I think wisely, because 1, it's uninkable, and 2, the biggest thing Ruby Sapphire wants to do is just make every card in its deck active off the top there. So he's going to save the inkable or play it, in fact, here to draw a card. And so that does appear to be a second Ink Runner, and just slowly going to advance our board state. Rascal's not putting a lot of lore pressure out, and we still have a very strong board presence with Maui and Scrooge to answer anything that he turns sideways. So we're just going to slow this game down and ink.
Yeah. I mean, you just climb the ink mountain, get yourself the ability to play anything that comes off the top of your deck. This is exactly where you want to be if you're running this Ruby Sapphire deck. Just not be afraid of drawing cards that you can just use them all. So setting yourself up for a nice strong end of game here. Rascal, the plan had to be faster than this, and right now sitting with 4 lore, as we do see, I believe that is
Undermine, yes. Ooh, and so he did draw the Be Prepared off of the Ink Runner while at 7 ink, and so that's not the time you want to see it. And now we start having the answers to the characters because we see Samuel down to 0 cards in hand. So now Bruno just becomes a Dragonfire that also draws a card.
That was so, goodness gracious. So Sam could have had an answer to this board and just had it ripped away as we're going to start to quest here. This is crazy. Sam, you know what it is to like see a card and be like, great, next turn. Nope, just kidding. Not next turn. It's gone.
The cantrips are not your friend in this situation.
No,
that's always the
Draw
problem.
Card, the bad 3 words in this game, and Rascal punishing for doing it every single time. Samuel's experiencing that weird phenomenon when you're playing against a discard deck where you're like, I'm gonna ink it. I don't want to hold on to this. I gotta let this thing go because I'm gonna get punished for holding it. So either I play it or I ink it, and I gotta make choices. Speaking of making choices, we choose to exert and well, not a choice. Reckless is not a choice. It's a must. You got to do it. And so we deal with the Ursula.
Yeah, and so we see the Sapphire Coil lower the strength of the Ursula. The 2 Popsicles pop to heal the Maui back to full, and then the Tremaine comes down to answer that Maui, and thereby putting Samuel basically on a 2-turn clock to find the big Sisu, or he's out of this game. And even the big Sisu is not going to take out the Tremaine at this point, and that Tremaine is going to be questing for 2. Maui is not bad because it does answer the Prince John. So you're still fighting for some board, but you're just perpetually behind. 0 lore, no workshop. How are you going to get back in this game, Gabe?
That's a great question. I mean, I think it's about the sequencing of the cards that appear at this point because we are in top deck situation. So you are kind of having to rely a little bit on luck to get the cards you need, but we've got that Undermine coming into effect here, and which makes it strong enough to deal with the Maui. That is crazy. Oh my goodness, Maui dealt with by a squirrel, folks, by a squirrel. We're gonna go on a quest.
Yeah, and I am going to have to build this deck because this just looks like some good, clean fun here.
Clean.
And the workshop is going to be nice, but it might be a little too late here, especially because you don't want to play the workshop right after a Diablo because that's just going to feed Rascal even more. And now to add insult to injury, he has played a Shark, which leaves him at a B prep or bust on this turn exactly, or he is going to go become the mayor of Scoop City real quick.
Yeah, and I'd like to apologize to all my squirrels in the audience. That is in fact a chipmunk, by the way, not a squirrel. So just a huge apology to the squirrel community and to the chipmunk community.
Yep, and Scoop City it is.
Oh my goodness, that was crazy. Rascal showing us why he is just an absolute mad lad with that deck.
Yeah, and it just basically looked like old Emerald Steel Bucky in a sense. Like it just gave very similar vibes. Very fun to watch. Rascal, great guy, local of mine. See him at a lot of events. Met him back in the set 3 days Ruby Sapphire mirror matches. We went to time, I think, every time we played. Classic.
Typical, huh? You're like, typical matchup there. Mike, I love this deck, by the way. Like, you've had a chance to kind of see it. I've had a chance to see it a couple of times. Like, I don't get to see it as often as you do. And every time that I see Rascal play this thing, I even picked his brain. I'm like, hey, do I play this in Indianapolis or do I not play this in Indianapolis? And he goes, well, that depends how crazy you are. And I said, well, I'm a little bit crazy, but I don't want to fly a long way to lose. So, but yeah, this is definitely a lot of fun. At the very least, you're gonna have a good time because there's so many choices to be able to make here. There's a lot of agency in this deck. There's a lot of ways that the deck can reward you, and I think it's really, really cool. And we've seen a bunch of it. I mean, you've got the ability to just give yourself bonus strength. You've got the ability to rip your opponent's hand apart. You can draw a multitude of ways. I love it. I think it's a great
and you
deck.
get to play my favorite card, Maui Shark.
Yes, such a good card. Maui Shark is so good, dude. So good.
Yeah, he'd be a lot better if Ruby got some other inkable cards in core, but unfortunately they did not for now. But hopefully my Shark will come back and I get to play him much longer because there's no deck I like more than the Ruby Shark DKP style deck.
Yes. Shout out to DKP and that crazy deck. I'm sure we'll see it. I have to imagine, although I'm not asking you to review any series, but I have to imagine it's going to make its return at Indianapolis if it doesn't.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there'll be people playing it. It's still good, not great. I think. I don't that match 2 with that Amber Steel. I don't know if a Shark deck can stay into that game to get to 7 ink fast enough to combat it, but maybe they can.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends if it's like a mid-range Amber Steel versus like a very fast, rampy kind of, or not rampy, but rather like aggro, I should say, rather Amber Steel. But yeah. It's gonna be fun. I just cannot wait. I'm so stoked for Infinity at a DLC format. I'm stoked for Indianapolis specifically, and I can't wait to see everybody who's going. I cannot wait to see everybody there.
Oh yeah, and unfortunately I did not get the VIP ticket. Sold out very quick. Didn't even see it pop up. So I guess it was phone gamers who won today. I tried on the desktop, and we see Samuel inked a Fishbone Quill, passing to Rascal, who's gonna bring out the 1-drop Webby. He's gonna be hoping that Samuel does the ramp so he can shift his Webby and catch up. And so Webby is just one of Sapphire's most annoying cards. You're just like, please don't have the shift. And so we're going to see Samuel opt to not ramp once again this game. Again, I'm not sure if he's just holding back to get the Sapphire Coil up. But either way, Rascal not going to be able to get any value other than the 2 lore from that shift Webby.
Yeah, I mean, which... not the worst thing to get for to pay 2 to get 2 lore. Not horrible here, but yeah, if we did ramp, that of course does help it a little bit. But I think, do you think that it's a timing issue? Like, do you think that there's just like no better time to play that Sapphire Coil? Because like I imagine you'd want to like sail on 3 and then still play some. You can still play something on for 2. So that could be a part of it as well, as we see the Great Stone Dragon.
Okay, and so Great Stone Dragon is historically the counter to Emerald discard style decks because every time they discard, that's just going to ramp you. And so Samuel's going to be in a much better position this game because he is for sure going to get to 7 and 8 ink without expunging all of his resources. But this Diablo will pose a problem if Samuel does not have a small Sisu to combat it in accordance with that Sapphire Coil to lower it down to be in range of that little Sisu.
Yeah, understandable. Totally understandable. As we see the Diablo lying in wait, getting ready to get exerted, to get into this thing, start drawing from it. We're going to ink a Scrooge McDuck, though, on Samuel's side in order to play the Sisu, saying no draw for you, at least not for now.
Yeah, and Samuel feeling way more comfortable this game. He's got his engine set up. He's got a little Sisu to threaten the shift in 2 turns. Needs to get some gas into the discard, though, so that Great Stone Dragon can start getting some value.
Yeah, certainly. You got Rascal here playing these characters. Prince John is an indicator that we will start to deal with your cards in hand. We're choosing to play that Undermine. So there you go. We're gonna start to light it up a little bit here. As we gain some strength, we start to see some options having to be made here, and this may be the kind of the turn that we need to get this thing flipped around.
And Rascal draws a card. Sisu goes to the discard, and that is going to be another ink for Samuel. And Rascal says, I don't care because I have this Webby that's just going to make it so I'm going to get that ink too. So it's really going to be a net 0 for both of us.
Yep. Yeah. As we see a sudden chill here. So more card draw on Rascal because of that Prince John, more discard from Samuel's side, making that choice as I believe the lights went out here and they're back, folks. The lights are back. And that is a Scar. We love to see it.
Yeah, one of the more interesting cards. I was always a big fan of Scar. I played it probably a lot more than most people because, man, that was just like the only way to come back versus early aggro decks in the early sets like set 2 and early set 3. But big fan of that card and its card design. So excited to see it back here. I haven't seen him in a deck in a very long time.
I know. Infinity, I'm telling you, that's why I love it so much. It's just so many different ways you can build your decks. Just because I know what colors you're on doesn't mean I know what the deck is or what it is built to do. As we are going to ink a Maui, we're going to start going on a quest here, it looks like. And Rascal now going to get a chance to respond.
Yep. And Samuel is going to be like, please don't discard. Please don't have discard. Please don't have discard, because he is sitting at 1 card left in hand. And I think he's hoping that it can survive the next turn for it to hopefully be a Shift Sisu. And even the Shift Sisu is not going to be enough to take out that Shark now, even with the Sapphire Coil.
Shark is so good, man. Shark is such a menace, dude. It is crazy. Any action we play, and we know there's a bunch of them in this deck, we gain lore. We put the board on notice. You can't turn characters sideways unless you let me get more of these cards to rip more cards from your hand. So just putting Samuel on check. This Maui Half Shark is crazy already in any other Ruby deck, but it seems so unhinged in this deck because you've got so many cheap actions that you can play and just dispense them all in a single turn if you needed to. It's just crazy.
Oh, wow. And he's got the Be Prepared, and then we are going to use the Great Stone Dragon to get another ink. And so the great equalizer here, Samuel now 0 cards, but all the ink in the world, and Rascal is at 8 lore, and it's going to have to just start rebuilding. And I think Samuel's going to love to see just a Prince John, and Prince John doesn't love when the opponent has no cards in hand.
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still a 2-quester. It's still a warded character. Listen, there's been plenty of games where I played with this thing, and I had 18 lore. I put this thing down, and I say go, and then they kind of look at you and they say, well, cool, I guess you win. But we're not there yet. We're still a little bit of ways from there. So Rascal's trying to still play somewhat of an honest game here as we play the Madame Medusa. Okay. We just need characters on board at this point.
Basically, each player just played a blank. Unfortunately, there was no popsicle for Samuel to take back for the Tamatoa. And then Rascal had no target from the Medusa, but he said, I want to play to the board to try to counter the Tamatoa if possible. And we are going to see this Prince John take the lore while he can get it, which I think is a smart move because every card is now online in Samuel's deck. And he's going to say, this Bibbidi Boppity Boo is not doing too much. I'm just going to use it to ready my Prince John and hopefully get another 2 lore out of it. But
ideally, or maybe even force Samuel into a position to have to use another Be Prepared. To try to force that any of these answers that could be there. As we see Sail the Azurite Sea being played, what do we draw, Samuel? Oh, you look at it, it's still there, it's still face down. Deciding what we do with it is and having to pass.
And I liked the no quest from Rascal on the Medusa, realizing that he can use the Great Stone Dragon in order.
It was Be Prepared. It was Be Prepared.
These cantrips going the wrong way for Samuel. You want to top deck that and play it and not get stuck with it. And that's always kind of the situation you come in because you're cantripping so much with this deck with the workshop. And Rascal is just moving that pipeline, and him seeing that be prepared has got to be just a load of relief.
My goodness, yeah, and then that Pirate's Life coming in, just if Samuel had any shot at all, launched all the way back down to 0, sending Rascal up to 12, and yeah, just Rascal kind of showing the power of this deck. Even if you get some lore, you lose it, as Samuel now being put in a position where he needs to make some decisions. Going to go ahead and exert in order to play this Ink Runner. So questing, allowing you to play it for free. And good news is that card does say draw a card, but are we going to be punished like we did last turn? I guess we're going to find out.
Okay, so I like this. You're basically saying I'm going to sacrifice the 1 lore of the Medusa to save the ink from the Ink Runner. That's going to get us a second Sapphire Coilon. So whenever we draw a Sisu, we can basically wipe out the entire board that Rascal plays with either an ink from hand and an ink from the Great Stone Dragon, or both. So we could even theoretically take out a shark with a big Sisu.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very, very good point. You know, and I think that is a strong card here, a strong play here. It's exactly what you're trying to do. It's why you play these Sapphire Coils. It's like, that's the whole point. Make your Sisu so valuable. Make a Brawl valuable too. Why not? Why not make more cards in your deck valuable there? And that's why we do things like that.
Yeah, and so hilariously, he could have traded in with that Tamatoa, but instead he used the ink to draw it, and he drew a Brawl, which takes out the Medusa, so thereby just saving damage on Tamatoa and doing basically the same thing. But he's going to go up to 16 lore and play a Meta Medusa, and so this is going to be basically another Be Prepared or Big Sisu, or Rascal's going to take this in a very, very quick 2-0 fashion.
That's crazy, dude. Ruby Sapphire looks like on its way to being taken down by this Christmas deck, as some people lovingly call it, because of the color pairing here. Emerald Ruby wins this sequence 2-0, J-Bomb.
Yep. What a crazy one. Unfortunately, Samuel just never saw a Big Sisu in either of those games, and that's sort of problematic, because that's the one card you truly want to just be putting out as fast as possible in every game. Wonder if I'm allowed to request, I'd love to see J Shaft and see what he is cooking up, because his list I think is quite interesting. But we have a lot of options, so I'm sure Wonder will pick the best one for us.
Yo, 100%, yeah, certainly. I mean, all these options. Oh, it's a mirror match. It sounds like.
Oh, interesting.
Over there. Yeah. Okay. Well, you listen. In Luke, we trust. Pick the right one. We believe in you, dude. Do what you got to do. Pick the right one. We believe in you. But man, I gotta say, all 3 rounds so far, J-Bomb, these matches have gone crazy, and I cannot wait for tomorrow either. It's just Infinity Week is my favorite week here at the ICL. I love it. I love it.
Oh yeah, we've seen almost every color combo on stream as well, which is crazy. That's just Infinity. There's enough card pool to make anything viable if you put your mind to it, and everything can be pretty good. Like we saw the Hyper Aggro deck just even in the face of all of the removal possible, getting to 19, 20, and 20, and like just kind of limping to the end there. Like the gas on some of these decks is insane. I don't know how Mark could have like done anything better, and he still just barely got there. And so we see J Shaft versus Moxies, and it looks like a Emerald Amber mirror match, and we got a Snowfort on the side of Moxies, and we are in game 3 already, so they are flying as well through this.
Yeah. Now, at first glance, for some of our
we do not know what game they're in. Sorry.
Yeah, we're not sure 100% what game, but for some of our players out there, you know, you see Amber Emerald, your brain tells you dogs, okay? But let me tell you something, folks. Dogs is not the only game in town, okay? There is this Snowfort deck. You gotta see it. If you haven't seen it last Infinity Week, I believe it was Forrest who was playing it. I believe I forget which team.
He was playing it in core, I think.
He was playing it in core, yes. But this deck actually, and funny enough, having spoken to him, I'll tell you that the deck actually started off in Infinity, but it turns out that there's just 2 cards that really are relevant in terms of Infinity, and that is Rapunzel and it is Piglet. So those are the only 2 cards. Everything else is still core legal. So this deck in this format makes perfect sense. Snowfort, and you see that Mulan there. That's exactly the point of this deck. You play Tramp, you play Elanwi, you play cards that boost strength, and suddenly Mulan is questing for 6, just like you saw there, questing for a lot because Snowfort increases attack or strength rather, and Moxie's just skipping ahead to 16. It's crazy.
Yeah. And fun fact, J Chef's deck has 0 infinity cards in it.
What? What is going on here? Okay, I can't wait to break that down and take a look at it. I'm curious what that's. I mean, cool. I love to see that because
that was on
technically
purpose.
I would imagine. J Chef, yes, I would have to imagine. Oh my goodness! But we still have 34 minutes left in this round, rather. So they really could be on game 2 right now. We could be watching game 2, and they may still need to complete a full game 3 here. Okay, awesome. So we are getting confirmation that we are actually in game 2, and Moxie's is well on the way to clear this one up if J Shaft has no response to this board.
Yeah, neither player, I believe, plays much removal, so I think no matter what, Moxie's is just going to be able to play something off the top and win here in the next turn or so, and we're going to be going to game 3 in a very short order.
Yeah, certainly. We see the J Chef doing the very best that he can in order to deal with this board. You have to, right? Like you have to. There's just no question about it. That's how you get Moxie's off game here, and trying to do it as efficiently as possible in order to start turning the corner and potentially start getting some lore himself, saying that Nani, not the worst threat in the world. We're going to go ahead and take this quest with this Tramp because he couldn't really take it anyway, and see what happens when we pass it over to Moxie.
Yeah, and I think any 2 lore character here will be enough to take this game for Moxie's, and so if I were Moxie's, I'm just questing and playing my character, assuming it is a character. I think what you wouldn't want to draw here is Snowfort.
Yeah, I mean, that's you're right. You definitely want to get some characters on board here, and there's one that's a character for sure. Boy, oh boy, is that a character! That is Miss Park Avenue, folks, and we're just gonna bring back these characters that have been banished from the past.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything J Shaft can do from this situation because he's going to have to answer both of these characters and the lady. I didn't see the lore tracker go up. I believe Moxie should be at 18, and yep, that's going to be it.
Yeah, that'll clear it. That will 100% clear it. As these players, they're gonna go ahead and enter into game 3, and you see it in the chat, folks. You see the Wonderbot speaking to you. Okay, it's like a Doombot but cooler with longer hair. Get your channel points ready to go because it is time to put your predictions in. Do that as Nvrshift Moxies versus J Shaft here going into game 3. J Shaft will get a chance now to be on the play and try to make something of this.
Yeah, and from the little I know about both of these decks, there's not a lot of removal or interaction other than like having your character stronger from Snowfort. So I think the play draw disparity is going to be very large in this specific mirror match just because you get to quest first. And so although you do get to quest first, the opponent could play a Snowfort and kind of take some nice trades there. But that early lore is going to be such an advantage of having just the first initiative to say, I'm going to 21st.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. That's exactly. I think that the way you describe that is exactly it. Both decks are trying to do the exact same thing. They're trying to go as fast as they can, and it becomes a matter of who gets the right sequence of cards to do that sooner. That ultimately is what it boils down to.
Mm-hmm. And so I am excited to see how this matchup goes from the beginning, as I have never seen this mirror match yet. So it will be a learning opportunity for me here, Gabe.
Okay. Now, I didn't get a chance to see it. Is J Chef also doing the Mulan thing? Like, is that what we're expecting to see on J Chef's side, or are we expecting to see something different, or do you not know?
I believe it's the same style of deck. Yeah.
Okay.
Snowforts, Mulans.
All right. Awesome. Yeah. So I'm a huge fan of this deck. I will say I've been playing around with like in terms of the Amber Emerald. The deck I started with in terms of my testing is like the Cinderella, Akud into Muses. Mm-hmm. Trying to be just a real degenerate on that side of it, and it, while fun and when it pops off is crazy, can be a bit inconsistent. And when I play with this, it does feel way more consistent. Like the play that needs to happens more frequently.
Yeah, that deck, it has just some disgusting lines, but it doesn't advance the game and get to 20 very quickly, and so it just gives your opponent all the time in the world to draw out of whatever bad situation you put them in.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, it's like, great, I under the siege you. Oh, you're at 16. I'm at 1.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see what I can do. And all these characters quest for 1. Great.
Yep. And so J-Shaft identifying this is not the matchup for Ursula. So straight to the Inkwell you go, and we get the lightning fast Daisy, which is probably not going to miss very often against Moxie's if he's going to start taking these early quests, which I imagine he will.
Yeah, and we do see Illumineer here. Illumineer is a pretty good setup card. You lay that down first. You get ready to use it for cards like Mulan, to use it for cards like the Decisive Dog and Lady. It just creates a lot of really interesting play lines with this deck where, you know, just at any moment, you play one character and Illumineer is enough to light up that Decisive Dog. As we see Mulan coming down here, so J-Chef trying to start that engine. Mulan can get really, really crazy here if we have the right cards in hand.
Yep, and we do see that they are going to 0, guys, so thank you for being patient with us there. And J-Shaft says, I know I'm probably going to give you a character card, and so I do not want to give you more cards to give you more decisions, so I'm going to be patient with this Daisy for at least another turn.
Yeah, patience is sometimes the key here, because you do, if you quest too soon or if you quest at the wrong time, that could pretty much mark the end of your turn. So let's see. So we see Mulan here.
Yeah, and Moxie's Mulan does have the Illumineer, so she is going to be a little stronger of a quester, and we're going to see if J-Shaft, is this the turn he's going to play a Snowfort, or is he going to keep developing a strong board here?
Yeah. I'm sure also, you know, and you kind of indicated too, you know, that the big problem with this Daisy right now is we know that there's not a lot in the way of non-characters here. So J-Chef has to assume, like, how much advantage am I giving you? But we see the Snowfort coming down here. So that Mulan is a little bit stronger. That Daisy Duck now with resist 1 on the opposing turn, strength for 2. Daisy Duck's kind of scary with resist 1 and strength +1.
Yeah, and J-Shaft has now given the first lore initiative to Moxie's, and so he's being quite patient here. So I'm curious what his hand would be, because I probably would have quested at that point, because I don't see a way, unless the Tramp comes out, to take out my Mulan.
Yeah, because that's, I mean,
although I guess I guess a Snowfort would answer it. So yeah, it's probably right to not quest. So that's why J-Shaft's playing today, and I'm not.
Certainly, yeah. I can understand that for sure. You know, but it's just rough, because it's a rough decision to make. Give your opponent the card advantage. You feel that it's almost a guarantee you get that character. That character may be enough to push Moxie over the edge. As Moxie here is deciding what to ink. Hard decisions here. Going to go ahead and ink that Rapunzel to play Go-Go, opting for an evasive threat here, and playing down the Decisive Dog. Okay, and
now Moxie's has a lot of gas on this board, and if he can set up that Shift Lady, he's going to put J-Shaft in a precarious predicament. But this Donald is going to come and give J-Shaft some more gas, as he is running low on resources at this point. And that Snowfort makes Donald Duck a huge tank.
Now, I will say, so having seen both versions of this deck, generally speaking, people playing the core version of this deck, they replace Rapunzel with the Donald Duck. So I have to imagine that this Donald Duck is the Rapunzel replacement. Opting for the Donald Duck over the Rapunzel, I think, is an interesting call here. But, you know, you have to wonder how effective setting up Rapunzel traps can be anyway if people know what they're doing. And so maybe deciding I'd rather have this Donald Duck have a little bit more control of what I'm actually drawing and that I will draw, versus like, okay, well, let me set up this trap and maybe I draw.
Gotcha. Yeah, very excellent points there. And so we're going to see what Moxie's is doing, taking his time, and he is going to be inking. Wait for it. It is very, very hesitant to play it. Okay, it is that Tramp.
I can imagine. Yeah, that's a tough play, because that thing immediately would give Mulan the ability to just quest for 6 here. We do see Webby coming down. I do believe we touched the Mulan, indicating that that's who we're giving it all to. So yeah, that inking that Tramp is rough, because we have both the Decisive Dog and Mulan that benefit from that bonus strength here.
And this is interesting, because is this the turn where you say, hey, I'm gonna start questing. It's a lot of lore he's gonna get from that Mulan. So I'm very interested. Obviously, he's gonna take some time and think about it, and just be sure he's correct there. So
Yeah, I have to. I mean, I would. I think if
Yeah.
it's a mistake, I'm willing to fall. I'm willing to fall on that one.
Yeah.
Because you got to value the amount of lore that's just sitting on here at this point.
Yeah, because J-Shaft only has 6 strength to crack back with, and if he's cracking back, he is not getting any lore. And so it looks like Moxie says, I'm for sure questing with the Go-Go. Let me think about the others.
Yeah, it's like, well, this is evasive. This is not even.
Yeah.
I'm not even worried, dude. Let's just put this one sideways.
Yeah.
But yeah, got to think about it. You got to think about it because the wrong card comes down, a tramp comes down, just any sequence of cards comes down, and this board could be easily just obliterated, just sent directly to the discard pile, all banished everywhere.
Yeah, there's 7 more lore for Moxie's if he's willing to quest here, I believe, with the Elanwi supporting Mulan for 3 and Mulan being at 2.
Well, I believe the Mulan because of. Oh no, you're right. No, I'm sorry. I'm confusing that the tramp was inked, not played. So no, yeah, you're right. That could be. I believe 7 is the number. Choose. So we have. I know we have Webby and we have Elanwi right now on that Mulan. 2, 3. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So that we got the maximum value from the Mulan here.
Yeah, and we'll have to send everything, right? No. We only have to send 2 things in. Okay.
Oh, sorry. It was 5 off Mulan, 1 off the Elanwi. My apologies, folks.
Mm-hmm.
We just never hit the button for the Elanwi. We did it.
All right. So J-Shaft is going to have a big decision here on what he wants to do to fight for the board. I feel like he has to take that Mulan out with his Donald Duck, putting 3 on it against the resist, and that would be 2. And then I don't know if he. Oh, can he? But that math is. I hate resist math. It goes up to 5. Or no, it just says resist. It doesn't get another. It doesn't get another health. So it's at 4. So Donald would do 2, and then Daisy would do 2, and Mulan would do. Or sorry, then Daisy would do 1, then Mulan would do 1. So it would take all 3 of his characters to take out the Mulan.
That's not that. Yes, question mark.
But I feel like he has to, because otherwise that's just too much lore.
It's a lot, yeah.
Unfortunately, the Elanwi would survive as well. So Moxie's is in quite a strong position from this early game here.
I mean, honestly, yeah, it's tough, man. And I know we quested that tramp earlier, and it's clearly a hard decision to quest that tramp. That tramp is so good in this particular deck. It's insanely good. Because imagine if we were able to light up the decisive dog as well. We'd be all the way up to 10 if we could have done both. And so it's just crazy the amount of lore potential that we've got sitting on here. That Elanwi so strong. You got to deal with that because that's given so much pressure in terms of lore. You've got the decisive dog that just continues to grow, just crazy. The math on this game is insane right now. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So I'm redoing I know they just did it to 8. So where it was Mulan is at 2, and then the Elanwi would add 3 to it, so that'd be 5. What am I missing here?
The snow fort.
No, I've got the snow fort on Mulan, brings it to 2.
The Webby.
Oh, the Webby, right. Okay, I missed the Webby.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, this is actually what J-Shaft really needed this turn in order to trade into this board better. A snow fort and a tramp is probably the best 2 cards that he could have had in this situation.
Yeah, that snow fort is going to be killer here. The Donald Duck coming in, dealing with the Mulan. You got to get rid of that thing. That thing is so scary. Elanwi's got to go because it's giving so much pressure in the form of both the decisive dog and a future Mulan. So J-Shaft, the patience here may have paid off as we are just dealing with this board efficiently. And then Moxie's is now going to have to react on the back foot. Moxie's took that early quest lead, is now going to have to decide, am I still the beatdown, or do I need to take a moment here and just control this board with 2 snow forts staring me in the face, which will completely obliterate my own board as well.
Yeah, and the snow fort stacking is interesting because it's resist and not more HP, or sorry,
Yes.
willpower. And so therefore, if you have a bunch of characters with low strength, it's going to be much harder to get through because of that resist on one single target, like this Mulan, who has very, very high willpower.
Yeah, yeah. The second snow fort here may have been the thing that pushed Jay Sheft over
Mhm.
the edge here, because yeah, that's exactly right. Moxie's is now in a very weird spot. It's better theoretically, it's better to quest, because when Jay Shaft sends the characters into you, the resist is not a factor, right? So
Right.
you only have to worry about the resist if you're dealing with the attack. So Moxie's has to figure out, okay, well, can I entice Jay Shaft to deal with my board, and then on top of that, can I continue to maintain pressure? Can I continue to force Jay Shaft to respond to me, or am I just going to empty my hand, go dry, and then Jay Shaft destroys this entire board? These are the scenarios that Moxie's is walking through in his mind. What does getting to 20 look like, essentially?
Yeah, this mirror match, I don't envy either player, because this is some of the hardest math you'll ever have to do in Lorcana, with all of the +1s and minus ones here with the resists and the bonus strength and whatnot. So I don't envy the situation of ever having to play this mirror match.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but I will say that, like, the players in the moment, this is probably like the most fun that you could have, because it's like so challenger heavy. The math is a big part of it, is making sure you're not making mistakes on where you go. And we always talk about thinking 3 turns ahead. You talk to pro players, you got to be able to map out these turns. Anything that makes the math weird changes your ability to dynamically value that and understand how that would work.
Yeah, agreed. And Moxie's still going through this turn, just got to think through everything. And as you said, this is probably the climax of the game, is this turn, on whether he's going to decide to challenge or just quest out. And so I think he has to pick either one of them. And Crikey is going to help that decision immensely, because everything is that Crikey basically now says, what's no for it?
Right, exactly. This is, I mean, it's so negate. Not only does it negate the snow forts, it gives them effectively +1 if you were to get the snow forts out of here. So if you look at just the raw numbers, +1 to the characters' willpowers, that makes the math so much more favorable. Moxie's is likely going to have to make the decision to deal with characters here and put Jay Sheft on the back foot that way.
Yeah, and I love this game because they both have such little resources, and they both have kind of had the best answer each turn to what the opponent has presented them with. And so this has been just quite incredible of a game to watch. And so Moxie's is saying, I'm probably going to have to sacrifice my precious evasive character here for the greater good.
Yeah. It's a weird spot to be in, and I think this is a great showcase of the kind of things you have to think through. You know, some people might say just race, some people might say challenge. Moxie's is opting here to deal with Jay Shaft's board.
And a grotesque Go-Go at 6 strength is able to fight that Mulan with 4 willpower and 2 resist. And then Webby is going to come in at 5 strength and is going to be able to take out that Donald. And so we are back at square one with Moxie's in the lore lead. Very impressive.
Is crazy. Yeah. So this is what a turn this was. This was such a huge turn, such a swing. And both players now are going to have to reestablish this board here. This is very, very interesting gameplay. I love to see it. It's so much fun.
Jay Shaft is quite being rewarded for not questing with this Daisy at all, because Moxie's is down to, I believe, just 1 card in hand, if I am seeing right. He's covering it quite protectively, but yeah, smartly he's going to take that 3 lore and go to 11, likely going to 14 from the Crikey next turn. And shout out to Steve Irwin.
Yeah, for real. Huge shout out. Everyone's saying J-Bomb's doing the best Steve Irwin impression. Love to see it.
I know it's Crikey, guys, but Crikey.
Crikey. That's why I didn't correct you. I'm like, you know what? I prefer Crikey. I like Crikey better. Let's take it. As we see Jay Shaft thinking through. Yeah. As we see Jay Shaft thinking through this turn now. What do we got to do to solve for this? What does our hand look like? Man, I wish we had hand cams. It would be so awesome to be able to see what decision lines they could make. However, you know, we don't want our opponents to see our hand. So unfortunately, we don't have that benefit. However, you know, Jay Shaft has some cards in hand. In the ICL and really in tournament play, we do not trust the dice that are being used. Although we do want to encourage our opponents not to have to ask every time how many cards are in their hand. I'm hoping it's
Yeah.
two. I think it's two though. I think two
I
is
believe
enough.
so as well.
So 2 cards in
So
hand.
he can take out this lady, and I believe he is going to have to, but he will lose his Daisy, unfortunately. And so I think Moxie's is very pleased with that trade. He got 3 lore, took out the Daisy,
Yeah.
but this lady is going to refill
Ooh.
J-Shaft, and most notably, it's going to give him that Mulan, which is going to put him on a much quicker clock than he had previously.
Yeah, the 2 snow forts already set up here means that Mulan is right at home. Apparently, Mulan loves a good fort, and it fits right in place. J-Shaft getting that thing is going to help secure that. We got Cricky though on the other side with Moxie's. Cricky questing for 3, pretty sweet. Don't get me wrong, that's a pretty good card there.
Yeah, and J-Chef deciding, I think, if he wants to ink and play the Daisy, but I don't think you can ink that Mulan and play the Daisy this turn. I think next turn you got to play both of them, hopefully whatever else you draw, and just send the board, because both of your characters are going to have to go into this Cricky here next turn in order to stop this onslaught of lore.
Yeah, that's yeah, definitely an onslaught. You're not kidding. That's exactly what it's going to feel like, as the snow forted Cricky is met with a Webby here. So Webby now a 3/4 with resist 1 on the opposing turn. Quest for 2 here. So we got 5 points of lore on Moxie's cards. That's a lot of speed. We are pod racing for sure here.
Oh, he decides to not quest, and
Interesting.
that is interesting. I believe he is worried about that Mulan, so he wants to make sure he has a way to answer it, or make sure that he can have one of these characters survive, so he's basically guaranteed to get to 18 after the next turn. Quite interesting on the no quest there or challenge, and so this Raja is going to be quite problematic for what Moxie had going, and so I think he's going to regret not taking that 3 lore when he could, but we shall see.
Moxie's punished so hard for not taking that quest that Raja is that. Oh my goodness, this is. Oh, I think this is like such a lesson in like risk management and understanding like when the right calls are to be made. Infinity presents so many weird scenarios. It's hard to account for every single card combination that you may see here. But that Raja, pretty good here. Very good here, in fact.
Yeah, that Raja is basically going to protect the entirety of J-Shaft's board, because Moxie's is going to have to throw everything into it in order to take it out. And so I think his option here is just going to be, he's setting up enough to take the game, I believe. So that's really? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That is exactly 20. And so I believe he's going to take the game.
Wow. So okay, so Moxie figuring out the math here, had the pieces in hand to do the math and get there. And
yeah, no punish. He set up lethal.
Wow.
Incredible. Or sorry, he set up game. He set up enough to get to quest to 20, and that is quite an incredible thing. We thought punish, but no, Moxie's was 2 steps ahead of us. He probably was saving that piglet in hand. Oh, what a great end to that game. That's crazy.
That was so cool. Oh my gosh, that was cool. Holy moly. And Nvrshift able to squeeze out a victory here. It went 2-1 in the ICL. J-Mom, you know this. Every point matters. You know, like it matters so much, especially as we get closer to the end, especially as we start to crack past these Swiss rounds. And so Nvrshift saying, well, world-class cards, you guys got the 2, but we got to get at least the 1.
Yeah, so I think going through, Moxie sat there and he said his hand was Piglet. So if he draws any character he can play the next turn, he will set up enough to win the game. And yeah, and he drew exactly what he needed to. He had the Cricky MVP of that match for sure, in that game 3 especially. So unfortunately for J-Shaft, he had quite a solid start, but Moxie's just had the perfect answers to what J-Shaft threw at him, and got there just by the hair on his chinny chin chin.
Yeah, my goodness, that was something to behold. People in the chat talking about this game, man, that was crazy. That was a lot of fun. I gotta say, I really loved it.
Agreed.
Yeah, I wonder if there's. I'm gonna guess we got 2 minutes, about 2 minutes. No, yeah, we have 10 minutes left on the clock, and we do, folks. We've got a lounger game. We've got Ink Pass. We've got Mark G versus Colin here, and we see Emerald Sapphire items with a Tamatoa already on the table, but I don't see a Lucky Dime. At least I don't think I do. So this game isn't fully over yet, but it certainly is going to be not.
If
great.
I know the loungers, I think they might have the Ink Pass and the loungers swapped because Mad Jack loves this style deck. Okay.
Okay. So
It's Josh Satterfield against this blue green item deck here.
Yeah, and it is Amber Steel over on Satterfield's side here. Nope, wait.
Okay.
My apologies. There you go. Yes. Okay. So Josh is the one playing Emerald Sapphire,
and we're scooping up a lot of cards here.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like the game's over.
we saw just in time to see the most cards you've seen on the board in quite a long time.
We're just getting clarification whether that was game 2 or 3, folks. Yeah, that was in fact game 3. Yep. All right. Yeah. So we are. Yeah. We'll see if there's another one impending here. But my goodness, J-Bomb, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. By the way, good to cast with you, buddy. I love casting with you.
Oh yeah, it's always a pleasure with you as well, Gabe. And after this, I got to go start packing for Brazil, and so got to get my mind back to core. A nice little break for today on Infinity. And so that is going to be the last match for ICL Infinity Week 9.
That is, yeah. So you mentioned that you are getting ready to go to DLC to Sao Paulo. So have a good time there. It's beautiful over there. If you've never been, I don't know if you ever have, but it's beautiful over there.
Yep.
Enjoy the food, but just don't.
There's a Fogo de Chao right next to the convention center.
Let's go, Fogo de Chao. Okay, all right, there you go. So get yourself some of that Brazilian steak. That's what it's known for. You got to get yourself some of that. It's really, really good. So I think, Luke, before I send this off, I just want to make sure that there's nothing else that you want us to touch on before. Okay. Yeah, so we're just confirming for tomorrow, for Wednesday. We've got the Emperor's New Crew versus the Sunflower Illumineers. So make sure you come back. Both of these teams known for playing some very, very spicy builds. If you loved watching what you saw today, you're gonna get more. They're in 4th and 5th place respectively. So they're fighting for their ability to stay on this board. Every one of these matches are gonna matter. You're gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna be crazy to watch, folks. But before we send this off, I want to make sure that, J-Bomb, I give you a chance to talk about the things, to let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, first off, I want to mention that this World Class Cards versus Nvrshift was, every single match was to the wire, and if one card went like another way, it could have easily been Nvrshift 3-0. So that was one of the craziest 3 matches and most awesome to watch that I have seen in a long time. So great show from both teams, I'd say. And yeah, where you can find me, I do Alter Academy every Monday. So come check that out. Learn how to alter with the best players in the game. Next week, we're going to be doing Blurple with actually the guy you just saw right here, Joshua Satterfield.
Ooh, let's go. And I just saw your episode with Batsu, by the way. That was fantastic. That was great. Love seeing you. Got to watch that. Crazy deck.
It won me a match at Set Champs because I recorded that and then I played against that deck in a Set Champs, and I was like, I know exactly what to do. I'm going to play Clarabelle and it's going to go great. And then they never killed the Clarabelle and I felt great.
That's funny. You're like, thanks, Batsu.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, bud. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, that was awesome. And you can find me on X, Gabe. I'm there all the time hanging out. You could also sometimes catch me here hanging out with Luke. I like to pop in every once in a while and talk to him and talk about stuff there too. So with that said, my friends, I believe we're getting ready potentially to raid somebody. I would think so. And we've got 10 seconds. Oh yeah, we're going to raid Team Misplay TCG. Send them all your love, folks. And if you haven't already, follow us here, and we'll see you all tomorrow night. Peace.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. There you go.